Hey, welcome guys. Today we're going to go over something really, really important, which is business planning for 2023. The market is shifting and it's continuing to change. So it's really important that you guys realize that these are like tectonic plates that are moving right now in our marketplace and it hasn't settled yet. So there could be a lot of aftershocks. Okay. So not only do I want you guys to survive this market shift, but I want you guys to have your best years ever next year and moving forward in your career. And hopefully I'm able to prepare you for that today. Okay, just a little bit about myself so you guys pay attention. You guys know that maybe I know what I'm talking about a little bit. This is my 19th year in business. I was born and raised in Fairfax, Virginia, for those of you who know where that is. And I own my own real estate franchise from 2012 to 2015 in Irvine, California. Then I was recruited to manage for the #1 and #2 companies in Orange County, First Team Real Estate and Realty One Group, where I manage over 400 agents and about 2,000 transactions from 2015 to 2018. After I resigned, I started a team, and that team did over 30 million in sales in 2018. Some of those team members are on this broadcast right now. And since I got into management in 2015, I've created over 100 6- and 7-figure top producers, ranging from 5 million in production to over 40 million in production. Really proud that my second 7-figure coaching client is being built this year. He's the #1 agent in Fresno County out of 4,000 agents. I've also generated over 70 million in sales volume in referral business organically, meaning no ad spend, didn't pay a penny for it, from social media. And I'm one of the moderators behind the scenes for Lab Coat Agents. So if you guys are part of that group, I'm the one who is approving posts, managing comments, things like that behind the scenes there. So just a couple of case studies so you guys know what I'm bringing you is really valuable and it's going to really have an impact on your career. This was one of my first coaching clients that I personally coached one-on-one back in 2017. And if you look last year, they did 42 million, husband and wife team, for a combined family income of 800,000 GCI. Not too bad, right? That's CEO type income for being in the business 5 years. Okay, this is that coaching client I told you about. Last year, this agent was #3 agent in Fresno County out of 4,000. This year, this agent is #1 and on track to close 150 to 160 transactions. And GCI will go from 850,000 last year, solo agent, one agent closing 110 transactions, to this year closing 1.2 to 1.3 million and 150 to 160 transactions. Okay, and we've got a lot more success stories. Some of these success stories could be on this call here. So Peggy Lim came from Keller Williams, and I took her business from 4 million, where she was making about $80,000 a year in 2020, to over 20 million and over $400,000 in income in 2021. So 500% return in her business. Sylvia Clapp here did 12 million her first full year in real estate. I met her when she was 6 months in the business, and she came over. She did 12 million her first 12 months here. Hazel Spencer did 17 million her first 12 months here. Met her when she was in the business for 7 months from Keller Williams. Christine Kafori just closed another deal, but she did 12 million her first 12 months here. She was at Berkshire Hathaway in Irvine in 2 years there. Hey, great company, but she only closed 2 leases and made $500, and no one's paying their bills on that. So now she's also one of the hosts on NBC's American Dream. So if you guys watch that show, she's one of the Orange County hosts. Jackie Lee, former coaching client and friend, did 15 million last year in sales. George Osborne did over 10 million in sales last year to be top 50 agents, also in Fresno County. And Aaron Amrine did 15 million last year in sales. So I may know what I'm talking about a little bit in producing top producers. So this is what I do. I make top producers, and if you hang around me long enough, you will be one. I've got an organization at eXp Realty of about 200 agents, and over 70 agents make 6 or 7 figures. If you compare that to any office that you walk into, those will not be the numbers. If I compare that to my First Team office or my Realty One office, we blow the numbers away almost by double the top producers. Okay. So if you guys would like to receive text on future trainings, coaching opportunities with me, Felix the Coach, go ahead and text real estate to that number. If you guys are already part of my organization, do not clog up the feed. This is what you got yesterday. As far as you guys are already getting these text messages. Okay. So if you guys sign up again, you're going to get 2. So please don't do that. Okay. So if you guys are not in my organization, you guys want to access more trainings, go ahead and text real estate to that toll-free number, and then you'll get the sign-up message there. Okay, so today's plan. We're going to talk about your mindset and your attitude. We're going to talk about the market shift and what's happening and where we project the market to go to next year and beyond. We're going to talk about your business plan made simple. So this is not going to be something where you're overwhelmed at the end of the day. At the end of today, you're going to feel empowered that you can do whatever you want in this business. Because this is what's needed right now. You guys have a lot of fear, not just you, but just the whole industry. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear from buyers, from sellers, from real estate agents. And it's because most of the industry honestly hasn't been through a market shift. Anyone that's been licensed 2009 and later has not been through a market shift. Do you guys realize that? So perfect time. Let's do some introductions, guys. So we have probably about 50 people, 52 people here on the broadcast here. I'd love for you guys to tell me a couple of things about yourself. What market that you guys serve, how long you've been in the business, and maybe what you want to take away from today. So let's jump in the chat here and I'll read through some of those comments. So let's jump in the chat. What market you serve, how long you've been in business, and what you want to take away from today. Let's jump in the chat. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. So you guys should be jumping in the chat right now and doing an introduction about what market you serve and how long you've been in the business. And so we've got Brian. I'm in the market since 2005. So Brian got licensed a year after me. So Brian's been doing this for over 17 years and serving the San Gabriel Valley. And we've got Marisa Roque serving OC, LA, IE, and agent since 2014. Roy in the OC market. Yelena is in Kirkland, Washington, Seattle area, and been doing this for 7 years. She wants to learn how to stick to a plan. Hey, you're in the right place. So we're gonna simplify business planning and make sure you can execute. Sabrina, a long time no see, Sabrina. So Sabrina is up in the Bay Area and has been licensed for 10 years. Jackie Lee, who I mentioned in one of the testimonials, and so she is serves Greater LA, Orange County, and 4 years in the business. Christina, LA, licensed since 2001. Evelyn T, been licensed since 2010, serving Orange County and the Inland Empire. Scott and Robin, working mostly Orange County and been in business for 20 years. My friend Tina from New York Hudson Valley area, 20 years in the business and here to prep for market changes. Stephen, since 2016 in SGV, licensed Roy since 2017. Alyssa has served the Inland Empire, been licensed for 3 years. Hopefully want to become more confident in talking to clients during the shift. There we go. Hepzibah is in the San Diego County market, been licensed about 2 years. Conrad, Huntington Beach, been licensed since 2015, but generational agent. So mom and dad have been licensed since the 80s. Rennie, Inland Empire, 9 months in the business. Imelda, licensed since 2021. Simon, hey, what's up, Simon? Long time no see. Licensed since 2004. Lori, licensed since 2006. Yeah, Yasmin, licensed since 2019. Aiden, I know Aiden just got licensed, and iPhone, not sure who that is, but just got looks like just got licensed also. Nadine has been in business about a year. Care, new agent. Phoebe, new agent. Lily, serving SGV, been licensed for 4 years, and so forth. Thank you guys so much for the introductions here. All right, we're also going to talk about scheduling your calendar because you guys have to have a plan and then you have to start executing that plan. And so we're going to talk about how you can commit to a calendar and actually execute, and then the presentations that you have to master along the process here. Okay, so let's talk about mindset and attitude. Okay, you got to get this right first. Otherwise, nothing is going to change. Nothing's going to happen in your life and in your business. So if you want to grow fast, you've got to protect this. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about, and I haven't talked about this for a very long time for my group, is taking 100% personal responsibility. So let's write that down if you guys are taking notes. So go ahead and write down, I will take 100% personal responsibility. If you align with me, if you just come to my free training, if you join my coaching company, you're going to get a lot of benefit from our relationship. But at the end of the day, I can lead a horse to water. I can't make you drink. You have to take 100% personal responsibility for your effort or lack of effort, because I'm going to go ahead and take some things off the table right now. One of those things is, I know I provide some of the best training in the country for real estate agents. So you can't say it's because you don't have good training. We take that off the table. No more excuses, guys. I want to help you guys make it through this market shift. And for me to help you make it, it means that you have to take personal responsibility, and you cannot play the victim. You cannot play the blame game. You can't blame your brokerage. You can't blame your manager. You can't blame your team leader. You can't blame your coach. It all rests on you. If it must be done, it must rest on you and your actions. Okay. So we're not going to really drone down into this again, but here's what I need you guys to know. If you want to grow fast, we may have to clear out some of the skeletons in our closet. And what I mean by that is any negative self-talk, negative thoughts that you have, you got to deal with those. And probably in your life, you sidestepped a lot of those issues. I beat myself up, but I just have to, I got to get productive. So let me just go around it for now. Do you guys know that by going around those negative thoughts that you have in your head, that negative self-talk, that's why you're not where you want to be? Do you guys realize that? You got to go through that, not around it. Okay. So I'm going to show you an exercise that I want you guys to do on your own time. We're not going to spend a lot of time here because I want to spend the time talking about your business plan. But this is where it needs to start. Okay. Because guess what? Everywhere you go, there you are. So a lot of people, they think, oh, a change in scenery is going to make a change in my business. Not necessarily. Right? So go ahead and write down your negative thoughts, and we have to deal with them. Okay. And I'll show you how to deal with them quickly. Okay. I used to have major road rage. I used to have a lot of negative thoughts. So if you're analytical, you probably run through thousands of negative thoughts, just like myself before in my 20s and even early 30s. And you got to deal with them. And I'll show you how to quickly deal with them. So in a short time period, like 3 to 6 months, we can resolve your anger issues. We can resolve those negative thoughts. We can resolve that negative self-talk that you tell yourself. So if you're that analytical person that has a lot of negative self-talk, you probably beat yourself up every single day. You tear yourself down every single day. And we'll get through that, okay? 2 other things that are going to be huge and heavy. So write this down. If you're going to do these 2 exercises, it's going to be a really heavy emotional week, okay? Number 1, forgive those who wronged you. You don't have to have a conversation with them, but it could be an ex, could be a parent, it could be an aunt or uncle, it could be a sibling, could be a former best friend. If they wronged you, you're going to go ahead and forgive them. You don't have to have a conversation with them, but you no longer are going to let them rent space here and here. You're just going to let it go because you deserve that peace, not because you're going to ever forget what they did to you. But if you don't forgive them, they're still affecting you today. And they're affecting your income, they're affecting your business, they're affecting your personal relationships. And I don't want that for you. So if you feel like you're that distrusting person that's been screwed over in life, this is the exercise that you should focus on. Forgive those people that wronged you. And you're going to say, I can forgive everyone except my mom, my dad, my best friend. Yep. I've coached a lot of people, and that's typically what happens. They can pretty much wipe the slate with everybody but a handful of people. But guess what? Those handful of people affect you the most. Okay. So if you're that person I described, do that exercise. Forgive them. and you just say, Mom, I forgive you, Dad, I forgive you, and you mean it, and you say it out loud, and then, wow, watch what happens. Okay, but it will be heavy. Okay, the last one I want to warn you could open up Pandora's box. You're going to ask for forgiveness from people that you screwed over. Okay, and so here's what's really important here. If you're going to open up Pandora's box and it's going to cause you a lot of drama, or it's going to cause you safety issues in your life, do not open up that box. Just throw away the whole box and throw away that relationship, and don't touch that person. Okay. So you have to decide if you're going to contact an ex best friend, an ex boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, and you know they're just going to bring drama to your door, maybe you don't open up that box. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, you got to be really careful with number 3, but it will set you free. You're going to feel like a weight is lifted off your shoulders if you do these 3 things. That's how you go fast. You're not reaching your potential because you're in your head, and all your past experiences and everything that went wrong in your life from the past is affecting who you are today. Okay. So how do we deal with these negative thoughts? Really easy. Okay. First, write down the negative thought. Okay. I make sure I protect my mindset. I make sure I have a bulletproof mindset. So I don't ever let these things come in my mind, because I was mentored in my 20s by people 10, 20, 30 years older than me. And they said, Felix, they used to quote some Bible verse that you're slain by the words of your tongue. Okay. So you whatever you say out of your mouth has a lot of power. Okay. So if you say, I can't do this, you cannot end that thought. I never say that thought. So I need to end it with, I can do this, or I will do this, to make sure that that positive energy and that positive words come out of my mouth last. Okay. I never say I can't afford this. I say, I can't afford this. I will afford this. I afford this now. Something like that. So you need to counteract all of those negative thoughts. First, you need to write it down. So that's step 1. Step 2 is you write the positive opposite thought. And step 3 is you cross out the negative thought. Okay. And you keep doing this until you no longer have negative thoughts. And if you do this simple exercise every single day for 10 or 20 minutes, you're going to see that you will get through and grow through your negative thoughts, and they no longer will appear in your head in a couple months. It's amazing. This is life-changing if you'll do this. Okay. So another thing that you can do visually is to make Post-it notes from this. So you have a negative thought. You write down the positive opposite thought, and you throw it on a Post-it note on your wall. And if you're analytical, you'll fill up the wall like this. And there are probably, out of 62 people on here, probably 20 to 30 of you that will fill up a wall like this. And it's very therapeutic, and it's needed. And if you say, Felix, I don't want to kill a tree there, awesome. Do a dry erase board and write all of them out until you cover the dry erase board. Okay, so also remember, we're working on mindset and your attitude right now, and what affects your mindset and your attitude most are life events that are happening to you. You think you have bad luck, you think I can never get a break in life. I never say that. It's not about that. I'm in full control of my life, right? So let's go ahead and write down all the things you're not happy with in your life, all of the things that you're dealing with in your life right now. What problems are you dealing with? Could be financial problems, could be relationship problems. Let's write it out. And a lot of you guys have been running away from these problems and sticking your head in the sand and not wanting to face these. It's time to address them head on. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes to do this. Hopefully you guys feel my excitement for serving and helping you guys through this process today. And this is on like 4 hours of sleep because my son kept me up. Baby Ben didn't want to go to bed until 12:30 last night. And then I had to finish this presentation, brand new presentation I've never taught before, until 3 in the morning. And then we had to start our day at 7. Not a contest. I know some of you guys start your day at 4 or 5 in the morning. Good for you. I'm still going through new dad adjustment. All right, so let's do this, okay? And then let's check in. So is this helpful? Like, have you ever been taught this? Because I'll tell you, after close to 2 decades in this industry, no company ever went over this with me. No coach went over this with me. And I think this is one of the missing pieces on why you may not have the results that you want in your life and in your business. So now that you wrote those down, you spend more time there. So I'm not cutting you off here. Continue that process, right? And make a note and circle it. And maybe if you have a highlighter, sorry, there's my legacy coming out, my stutter. If you have a highlighter, go ahead and highlight it. But now prioritize the most important, the things that are going to hit you in the face next, to the least important. You can't tackle 20 problems at once, guys. You can tackle 1 or 2 problems at once. And then after you tackle those problems, then you can tackle a couple more, and so forth and so forth and so forth and so forth. This is what causes emotional shutdown. This is what causes overwhelmment. This is what causes anxiety. And this is why you can't perform in your business. I need you guys to realize that. And be alert to protect that mindset after we resolve all of these issues. I can help you clean it out. But unfortunately, we're not probably touching base with each other every single day so that I'm able to clean this mindset out and this attitude out every single day, guys. Even if you're on my team and we touch base 3-4 times a week, it's not every day. It's 3 or 4 times a week that I can help you to make sure you have the right attitude and the right mindset. Okay, so let's make sure that's homework, because there's a lot of other valuable things I got to go over with you guys today. So that's the first thing that you guys will table for homework. Please, I hope you guys feel that this is really important in this business planning process, and for you to reach your potential and for you to perform at the highest level. So make sure you come back to this today, because don't leave it for tomorrow. Don't leave it for tomorrow. Let's get it done today so that you can start acting on your business plan. This business planning session was strategically planned for today. And also we're repeating the same exact training tomorrow, because this is the start of 4th quarter. October 1st was the start of 4th quarter. And this new business planning made simple is going to be a quarterly business plan basis. We're going to have quarterly business plans, execute, quarterly business plans, execute. So my team and my organization is going to do business planning 4 times a year. Every single quarter, we're going to do business planning. Make it simple, make it easy. So if you guys are part of my organization, just mentally know that the start of every single quarter, we're going to do this, and this is a must attend. I don't care if you made $500,000, $600,000 last year, your income is at risk right now. I see it because I see the numbers in the closings, guys. I see it, okay? So feed your brain. These are 3 books that are amazing to get you through this market shift. My all-time favorite personal development book is Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, okay? Followed by Shift by Gary Keller. Not all of that is made for all marketplaces, so take that sort of with a grain of salt. And number 3 is Change or Die by Alan Deutschman. These 3 are amazing books that will help you think the right way and do the right things in this marketplace. Okay, so let's write down our current pipeline of prospects and clients, not leads, right? So leads are just literally raw data. Leads don't mean anything. A prospect is someone that's looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, and they're open to using you. Okay. And a client is someone that's committed to you. Okay. So go ahead and write down this pipeline. And if you guys coach with me, if you guys have been part of my team or organization, you know what I've been telling you guys this since May when rates went up 2%. Your pipeline has to double in this changing market for you to do the same amount of transactions. Do we realize that? So, hey, agents who are brand new to this industry since the last year, welcome. It just got harder. I'm not going to avoid that word. It's going to be more work. And aligning yourself with the right people is going to be that much more important. Okay, so your past activities is what got you the results that you see today. If you don't like your results, change today to change the future. That's it. Instead of complaining about the results that you don't have for the work that you didn't do yesterday, draw a line in the sand and say, I'm not going to let that affect me anymore. I'm going to draw a line in the sand today, make the right changes I need to do so that I can have a better tomorrow. So new agents and seasoned agents, write this down. What I do today will show up in my business 3 to 4 months down the road. What I do today will show up 3 to 4 months down the road. And your daily and your weekly activities will determine your future results. You show me what you're doing on a daily, weekly basis habitually, and I will tell you how much you're going to make this year. I'll predict your future or lack thereof a future. And that's part of the secret of breaking this down. Instead of saying, I'm going to make 500,000, well, if you just broke it down to daily and weekly goals that you feel like you can accomplish, you're already there. And you must sell out. So predetermine the result, claim that victory and sell out to the results. And decide it's going to happen and not retreat when it gets tough. You should already know it's going to get tough. Why lie to yourself like it's going to be easy, guys? Decide you're going to do whatever it takes. So let's check in, guys. Let's open up our cameras. I'm going to do a check-in real quick before we go to section 2. All right, let's check in, guys. Let's open up our cameras. Let's check in. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys unmute yourself here so you guys can chit chat with me. All right, so let's check in real quick. Is this helpful? Am I hitting?
I can go first.
What we're talking about? Who's that?
This is Randy. I can go first.
Go ahead, Randy.
I don't have a webcam, so so I'll just use my mic. What was the question again? I'm sorry, I forgot for a second.
So your takeaways from only what we talked about so far, Randy, nothing else.
I see myself as a really confident person and I'm very extroverted, but if I had to pick one thing that really like gnaws at me, like my self-confidence, it's that I'm almost 30 and I want to close some deals really badly and like prove myself that I can do it, because the environment I'm in, other real estate agents and family are like, no, dude, you're starting the worst time in the world. I will quit and do something else, man. This is a terrible market. A lot of like negative Nancy's. So I want to take on like a more positive mindset. I want to, like increase my pipeline and kind of just prove myself out there that I can do it.
Okay, so do that exercise. So you have you may not have negative self-talk that's coming out of yourself because you're a generally confident person, but some of those relationships you can't shred. You can't shred if it's your parent that's saying this to you. You can't shred your siblings if they're saying this to you. So what you're going to have to do is still protect your mindset in that whatever they say, you still have to counteract through maybe the post-it note exercise or through journaling about those negative thoughts that other people are spewing towards you, because eventually that will affect your mindset. So even though you are confident in yourself, you still need to protect that bubble around you and probably spend less time with the people that say this is the worst time to get into business. I would tell you that the last time the market shifted, it actually started in the summer of 2005. This feels very much like the summer of 2005 for those of you guys who were in business at that time. And we didn't really see the true market until 2007, over a year later, and it turned into a buyer's market and a default market. Foreclosures started happening, sales started happening, okay? And so, guys, my best years were 2007, 2008. I was top 50 agents in the DC metro area out of 15,000 agents. So Chi's part of that area. So I'm counting Southern Maryland, where Chi is at, DC, and Northern Virginia. And so if you count GCAR and NVAR and everything, that's about 15,000 realtors. I was top 50 and I was closing north of 50 transactions at that point. Okay. So this is the time to take market share. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you so much, Randy, for your input. Okay. Anyone else want to share their takeaways from what we've talked about so far? Just what we talked about so far.
Hey Felix, this is Brandon Lutran.
Brandon, hey, long time no talk, brother.
Yeah, I came in the market at 2005, actually at the summer of 2005, when the market is similar. And I want to share my experience with you because at that time, my broker asked me to focus on something called short sale that nobody heard about. And it was new for me.
That's
and
how
we had a
short sale together.
Yeah, we have a transaction in Eastvale that I sold your short sale.
Yep.
And I just want to let people know that I didn't know what hard work was in real estate because I just do what the broker told me to do. And I just came in and just hustled through short sale. And by 2009, you know, I was one of the top agent in my office. So I just want to share with you guys that I was there as a new guy in the first wave before it crashed. So I want to share that with you. Just be persistent, especially Randy, just be persistent. I am 50 years old. When I got into the business, I was 35 and I was hustling. And that's all I know how to do. And I didn't know what was hard and what was easy because the older agent at that time was saying, this is a hard market. Nobody's selling anything, you know, but we just go and learn what's coming up, you know, be in front of the line before the market hits. Just learn your short sales right now and the default market will come. Okay, Randy?
So let me add on to what Brandon was sharing. So thank you, Brandon, for that. There is opportunity in every single market. And if you shift quickly to the opportunity, you will get the most out of the market. And so when the market shifted in 2005, those who shifted in 2005 to default market, whether they were approaching banks for REOs. So I worked with a Maryland bank to get REOs and liquidated them. I also worked with a New York bank to liquidate them in Northern Virginia. And I shifted there. I also shifted to short sales also in 2005. I closed my first short sale in 2006. And because I shifted, my business went up. So when you have a smart leader, just like Brandon's manager at the time, tell you where to shift your focus, pay attention. And we're going to tell you a lot of that today. So some of you guys will say, I don't want to do that. And then if you keep doing what you did, you're going to keep getting what you got, but half of it. Okay. Thank you so much for that share, Brandon. Anyone else want to talk about the takeaways just from mindset and attitude part?
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. I think it is very important about the mindset. I think the market, it doesn't matter what the market's doing, it's what you're doing. And I think that because before I joined this back, I've been kind of away from you guys, well, you Felix, personal stuff. And I had to reset because I had a really good year like everybody else last year. And I thought I was prepared, but I wasn't for everything else that came. But so I think changing the attitude and just deciding to do it, like joining this Zoom for me was one just to do. I think that makes a huge difference. And I think this exercise is a good revisit to what Felix introduced to me over long time ago.
So let me tell you about Chi. So she is a top producer in Southern Maryland, and she is part of one of the largest companies in the nation. Over 30,000 agents are at her brokerage, and she's part of one of the dominant brokerages in her area. You know, she's telling you from a top producer standpoint, and she's being vulnerable and she's being transparent, saying, hey, I was not prepared and I'm refocusing and adjusting. So that's huge, guys. I hope you guys are hearing this, and I hope you guys are taking this seriously, because I'm here to help you and I want to help you. But you've got to come like she is and say, hey, I need to grow. What do I need to do? If you feel like you know everything coming into this, you're not going to get what you need out of it. Thank you so much for that, Shirchi. Who else? A couple more people, and then we're gonna move on. So I see Chris and Dan and Kayer have unmuted themselves. If you guys, any of you guys want to say anything?
I think that negative self talk and crossing it out is very helpful. I mean, writing down what you have thought in your mind and then crossing it out is very powerful.
So, so Dan, give you background about Dan. And Dan is a new agent, but Dan focuses on mindset a lot with his personal training and his gym business. So, guys, like this is a guy that helps people to transform their bodies. And you got to transform the mind before you can transform the body. You got to transform the mind before you can transform your business. So there you go from Dan, the gym owner there. Thank you so much for that, Dan. That was really impactful and helpful. So hope you guys look. This is to accent from people in this group where you guys may want to focus on. Anyone, one or two more people. So who would like to share?
Felix?
Yes, Kayer, go ahead.
Well, I heard the Randy and Brandon and you said everything that I need to know. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm determined. That's all I have to say.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Janice, do you want to say something?
Hi, you guys. I've been in the business for 17 years now, and I've trained with Felix before. I think it's really important to write down your schedule. So lately I've been journaling because I've been taking another course, and just planning your schedule the day in advance and writing down the tasks that you need to do. Because if you don't write it down, there's always going to be stuff you need to do. And if you don't put it pen to paper, sometimes you just don't do it. I think in this tougher business environment, I think it's important for you to balance out doing the work and also continuing to get educated. Even after being in the business for a long time, there's always more to learn, more to change in your mindset, and just, getting motivated and doing it. So good luck, everyone. May we do well on the other side.
Thank you, Janice. So Janice is real estate royalty up in the Bay Area. So if you guys need a great San Francisco agent, she's my preferred San Francisco business partner up there. Also been previously ARIA chapter president up in the Bay Area and so forth. So great person to know. One more person who wants to share just mindset, and then we'll move forward, guys. One more person. Anyone? No pressure. No pressure. Don't feel pressure because
Hey Felix, yeah, I got one. So what I got, I'm new to the business. I just got licensed like a month ago, and right now what I have is changing negative thoughts from I can't do this to I can do this and I will do this. One thing I've been doing is going to the office and doing role plays and starting to make calls on the follow-up boss thing they got there, and just starting to call.
yeah, brother.
Talking to people.
You can call me in role play. I will just tell me if you want easy mode, hard mode, or bad mode, and then yeah, we can role play and we can practice too. So let me just tell you like what Aiden said and how that's also very powerful. Guys, like Aiden saying, hey, I got some negative thoughts, and that one thing is super powerful, and I'm just going to tell myself I can do this. And so Aiden, here's what I want you to do, and anyone that's similar situation to Aiden's is this: if that negative thought keeps coming back up, we have to keep pushing it away by rewriting it, crossing it out, and saying the positive opposite thought. We have to keep that on repeat until it no longer shows up. I used to have extreme self-confidence, self-esteem issues. No one would know it today. People would actually say today, this guy is way overconfident. But you guys didn't know me back then. You didn't know me back when I first got started in real estate. I still didn't know what I was doing selling 40 houses a year. And that's the truth. Okay. And then there was a time where I was selling 50 and 60. I thought I knew everything, and that was not true either. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for the shares. We'll come back to you guys. I'm gonna mute you guys now, and then we're gonna continue for the class here. Okay, so let's talk about the market shift. A lot of you guys in the introduction and the chat said, hey, I want to take away some dialogue I can work with buyers and sellers with right now in this marketplace, and that's where we're going to. Okay, and so also, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Felix the Coach. That's my handle. But this is the first thing I want to talk about with the market shift. It's still in flux. Remember, tectonic plates, it's still moving. So this is what I'm going to tell everyone on this call, and everyone needs to write this down and circle it and highlight it. Just because you thought you knew the market yesterday does not mean you know the market today. And I see this overconfidence, like from top producers. I think, no, I got a handle on it. Really? You do? Really? You're giving advice as if it was last month and you think that that's accurate? How? So let me tell you what I do. I gather all of that up from 200 agents, and then I talk to my business partners with 700 and 1,600 agents, and then we compare notes. And then we bring what's really happening in the macro market to our business partners. Because unless you're showing houses every single day of every single week, how do you actually know what's happening in the market? Unless you're taking listings every single week, how do you know what's driving the listing market? You have an opinion. You have a point of view. How big is that point of view? Is it this small with one buyer or one listing in a marketplace, or is it really big? So if you're a top producer and you want to remain a top producer that takes market share away from other top producers and other agents, you have to make sure you're doing this. Check in on the market. Make sure you're really understanding where the market's at. All right, so I love this quote from Tony Robbins, and so I'm going to repeat it. And if you guys have been through my Market Shift Bootcamp previously, we talked about this, okay? Good times create weak people. Hey, no offense, guys. So if you got in the business from 2009 until last year, you guys really didn't need to know that much skill. No offense. You know why? The market drove most of your clients to move forward. You think it was you, it was more the market. If you think it was you, then you should be fine in this market. Do you guys understand that the market pressure buyers to move forward? Rates low, prices rising, buyers jumped on it and move forward. You thought that that was you because you nudged them? No, that was the market. Same thing with listings. You know, you could overprice something by $50,000 or $100,000 the last 2.5 years and it would still move. You think that was you? That was the market again. So let's internalize this. Good times create weak people. We need to shore up those weaknesses inside of us, because now weak people create bad times. We're going to see a lot of agents not renew their board dues. That means they're not going to continue to be realtors after January of this year. We're going to see a big drop. I don't want you guys to be one of them. I'm trying to bring as many people across the finish line as I can. So weak times create bad people. Bad times create strong people. So this is now the time that you guys can decide that these bad times will create a stronger version of you. Step into that. Don't run away from that. Don't try to avoid this. It's going straight through it. And strong people create good times. So if you follow this process, and this is always the process that's happening, embrace the bad times, create a stronger version of yourself. And from that, you will create a consistent future for yourself in this business. Okay, so foundational skills. We already have to have these foundationals already set. If you're brand new, you got to get up to speed very quickly on this, and trust me that we've got you handled. You better make sure your prospecting systems are set. You better make sure that daily, weekly schedule is set. You better make sure you know how to evaluate property. You better make sure you know how to give a buyer consultation. You better make sure you know how to give a listing presentation. You better make sure you know how to write an offer. But now it's the shift. And now your dialogue needs to improve with your buyers. Your dialogue needs to improve with your sellers. You must be able to move buyers off the fence. And I'm not talking about closing and convincing them. I don't like to do that. I'm talking about giving them great statistics, great advice, and letting them have free will of making the right decision. And if you're really masterful at this, if you present this the right way, guess what? Most of the time, they're just going to make the right decision. You don't have to close. You don't have to convince. And you must be able to get sellers to sell at what buyers are willing to offer today. Do you know how many top producers I talk to about appraisal value versus market value right now? Just because it'll appraise for 950 doesn't mean a buyer will pay 950 today. Do you guys realize that? Yeah, but it's worth. Who says it's worth 950? I'm telling you this, the stats and the comps are there to appraise for 950, but buyers are not going to pay that, guys. We have to understand that difference, appraisal value versus market value, okay? So we must understand price trending and where the market's going. So if everything is listed in your neighborhood at the same price or lower than the last sales, and all the arrows are pointing down for price reductions, it's still saying the market is rapidly retreating, okay? You must be able to handle every single objection from buyers and sellers in this new market. Don't run away from it. Learn all of the objections and learn the responses. There's not that many, guys. And you must be able to deal with getting price reductions. You must be able to deal with getting low appraisals and how to manage those low appraisals, whether you're on the buy side or the list side. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of ego that you have to manage. And you must be consistently growing. And that growth and how much education depends on your pipeline, your experience in this business, etc. So let's define the market right now. So I'm going to define each of these markets: buyer's market, neutral market, and seller's market. And then we're going to talk about what we're seeing right now in the marketplace. And then I'll let you guys speak. So be prepared to unmute yourselves and speak. Okay. Please don't unmute yourself and speak unless you have multiple clients in the marketplace right now. I would like you guys, the top producers, the people that have the most actual insight with multiple clients, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 clients, to speak first, because they have a better point of view on what's happening. Okay. So buyer's market is 6+ months of standing inventory. Buyer's market, 6+ months. Okay. Neutral market is more than 3 months, less than 6 months. Seller's market is less than 3 months of inventory. So let me define what's happening in Southern California, because I think most of you guys are here in Southern California. And then we can also hear from other people in other marketplaces also. We should have some Idaho agents on here. We've got some DC area agents on here. We've got some Bay Area agents on here. We may have some Texas agents on here, Seattle agents on here. So let me describe what we're seeing. So back in April of this year, beginning of second quarter, we probably saw that we had 0.7 months of inventory in Southern California in most markets. 0.7 months. It was the hottest market I've ever seen in 18.5 years of being licensed. And now, just from April till now, we're at 2.7 months of inventory. It's almost quadrupled, but there's still a housing shortage. It's a very interesting market right now, guys. So what's happening? Rates have risen to the point where a lot less people qualify. People are defaulting on some consumer debt, not crazy, but there are some defaults, specifically like the subprime car market has defaulted. We're not really seeing the ripple effect through the real estate industry, but something to sort of keep an eye on. And because of all of these things happening and people talking about a potential upcoming recession, even though it's a seller's market by definition, 2.7 months, in Southern California, we're actually retreating, and we really feel in most markets like it's a buyer's market. People are able to slash the price 20,000, 50,000, 100, 150,000 in a lot of houses. But at the same time, when I unmute you guys, you're going to hear from top producers that tell you that they just competed with 5 or 6 offers in a multiple offer situation last week. And this is why this is a lot tougher market for new agents to learn. You're going to see the whole gambit. You're going to see some true sellers market things happen, like competing with multiple offers. You're going to see where it's a fair playing field, give and take, buyer and seller are going back and forth in negotiations. And then you're going to see properties and listings where buyer rules the roost and can call the shots and ask the price that they want. You're going to see everything in this market. Okay, so I'm going to unmute. I would like to hear the top producers first. So first thing that you guys need to lead with is how many clients you have, active clients, active listings, active buyers. If I hear one or two, we're going to mute you again. I'm not here to silence you. I need, for the benefit of the group, we have close to 100 people on here now. I need to push this conversation forward with the people that are seeing the most in the marketplace. Fair enough, guys? And if you guys have less than 3 or 4 clients, sit tight and hear what these top producers and these agents with multiple clients are saying. All right, and you guys got to mute yourselves. Who wants to be the first to talk? Chi, go ahead. I see your hand.
Okay, so I have 4 listings, probably 2 going active. Yeah, 4 and about 10 buyers. So I'm all over the place. So I'm seeing multiple offers in a certain price range, the lower price range, right? The first time home buyers, you're seeing multiple offers there.
Write that down, guys.
There's fair negotiation back and forth, but we're not offering low offers. It's like high, you said it's the at price offer, seller contribution. Now they've changed the I guess the new contract is in place. Now there's no such thing as an as is with right to terminate. Everything is negotiated. Buyer has the right to walk, and so you have the same form. So that kind of makes our work a little bit better in some ways because we're negotiating anyway. But I did find a way to negotiate like $40,000 reduction after an inspection for the first time in the last 3 years. In this particular, there's a, you know, how wherever you go, you have where there's desirable school districts, right? Those school districts never saw any, they had a lot more activity when it was busy. There's less activity, but where people are going, still having multiple bids are those areas. So you're seeing softening of the prices, but they're going on the second week or third weekend. I've seen one of my listings go on the third weekend, still get a full price offer. So it's all over the place, but you're looking at buyers kind of waiting it out. There's a lot of waiting. Should I wait? I think that is one, I think we need to really discuss the type of conversation is, do I wait? Those people that still bought last 2 years, they didn't get a deal, but they still bought it. So I think that's something we need to address because they are all over the place. It's hard to advise because sometimes it goes higher than what I think it would go. And sometimes I'm kind of questioning myself whether, okay, am I giving the right advice or do I really know what's going on in the market? Because some would just go and it would throw me off. Like it would go at a different price that I didn't expect it to go. So.
Okay, so that's honesty, right? And so let me also branch off of what she said. Look, guys, I have personally completed over 3,000 evaluations that were paid, like as a BPO expert. And I will tell you, I cannot confidently price anything in this market. And if you guys think you can, I think you're full of shit. I said it. Here's why. Guys, just like what she said and what she's experiencing in the DC metro area, everyone is experiencing across the country. Here's what I tell my sellers and here's what I tell my agents right now. I can tell you what it will appraise for. Here's the range that it will appraise for. I cannot tell you what the market value for that property is. I cannot tell you what a buyer will pay for that property in this marketplace. And anyone who says they're just guessing right sometimes. That's the truth. That's the truth. But are people telling you the truth? Or are they flaunting their ego and their pride and saying, I know it's going to sell for this? You're going to bet your life on that? And let's see you do that 3 or 4 times in a row on 3 or 4 different properties. Let's see how that works out. I would love to have someone get within $10,000 of 3 properties in a row right now. Do you, anyone out there want to take that? You know, who wants to take that, right? I'm not taking that after. Look, hey, My friend John Kim, he owns a Next Home franchise, and he's like, no, John's been in the business a long time, just like us. Guys, the veterans are saying, yeah, I'm not touching that. Why are the agents like 5 to 10 years thinking that they know everything? Danger zone, guys, overconfidence. Okay. All right. Who else?
I'd love to speak, Felix, if anyone.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Felix, thanks for the call today. I've been following Felix guys for quite some time in his current company and previous, and I like to follow people that are very successful, that actually done it. So appreciate to be here. I'm actually in the East Coast in New York. We're in Long Island. We're from the Hamptons. We're about an hour away. New York City, we're about 45 minutes away. Our property prices in our market are ranging from $500,000 to $5 million. So we're in a very good market over here. With the rates going up, I mean, I see inflation kind of being managed. I see the rates possibly will go up a little bit more end of the year, but I just feel that the rates will eventually fall next year. I agree with Felix. You guys have to double down and triple down right now because it's a huge changing market. Our lead gen has been dropped by like 1/3. We've been getting like 20, 25 leads a day for the team, and we're getting like 5 or 8 leads a day. So what I'm telling my teams is you really have to maximize and take every lead and try to convert and put into contract as soon as possible. Okay. In terms of the market over here, I still feel it's a seller's market. We during the COVID, before the rates went up, we used to have offers of like 15 offers. I mean, really strong offers of, some of them all cash, some of them 50% down. So pretty good. But now the offers are like down, but maybe 10 offers on a house, so it's still a strong seller's market. Properties are going into contract within 10 to 2 weeks. Okay. So we're training our agents to really have the buyers ready, pre-approved and ready to go, have their finances in order. The minute the listing pops up on the market, get them out there the same day, make the offer, because you all know whoever is the agent that brings that buyer first, makes the offer, will better chance will get that deal. So, and then get the deal in contract as soon as possible, get the inspection done same day or next day, just wrap it up and get it into contract like less than a week. The faster you do it, the less chances it's going to die, because deals are dying. I just saved like 3 deals today. It's just deals are dying for some reason. So you guys have to really be on top of it. The new agents, I would just recommend just focus, like Felix says, just focus on the business, prospect, have conversations with people every day, look at your daily schedule and just double down and triple down and meet more people. Okay. People are still buying here. The challenge that we're still facing is very low inventory. A lot of the homeowners are just expanding their houses. They're pulling out equity lines of credit, and, with the rates at 6% today, they're pulling equity lines at better rates and just, renovating the home. So not too many people are relocating or downsizing as much as we want, but so that's still a challenge today. So yeah, I feel that this end of the year and early quarter next year will be a challenging time for agents, but second quarter, third quarter, I don't know what Felix says. I'd love to hear what Felix says about it, but next year, maybe towards the end of the year, is going to be a great summer for all of us.
Thank you, John, for that. So great insight on what's happening in Long Island and the New York City suburb market there. So let me reiterate some of the great stuff that John said. You got to double down and work harder. Deals are going to be harder to hold together. So don't let your pride and your ego get in the way of your client getting what they want, whether it's selling their house or buying the house. I see a lot of agent egos killing deals right now because you get offended by the other party. Get over yourself. This is not about you. This is about the client. Write your offer right away. So in the last market, when we were getting 30, 40, 50, 100 offers on properties in Southern California, we taught our agents to hold on writing the offer until the day that they were reviewing. That is no longer the case anymore. we were afraid of being a stepping stone offer in the last market. Now, if your clients love the house, they need to be the first to write, because sellers are now taking the first solid offer and running with it. Okay. So also, case in point, okay, if you guys want to play the market. So my wife's cousin is relocating from Taiwan to Phoenix. So what's happening is, Taiwan is the biggest builder of semiconductor chips. That company, I think it's, Fanny, do you know the company, TSCR or something? What's it called?
TSM.
TSM is relocating like 3,000 to 4,000 people from Taiwan to Phoenix, Arizona. And so basically my cousin, called me and said, hey, I'm not in a rush. How do I get a deal in a falling market in Phoenix? And I said, awesome. Let me show you a trick that we used to do like 10 years ago or 15 years ago. So I said, hey, go ahead. If you can't negotiate down to 550 like you want, tell the seller it's too rich for my blood and walk away. And then come back in a week or two. I bet they change their tune, and I bet you get your 550. If you're only $10,000 or $20,000 apart, they need to feel a sense of loss. So you're negotiating your 2 or 3 rounds and counter offers in, walk away. But I told my cousin, I said, hey, if you really love the house, you should just pay $560 or $570 for it, whatever you want, right? But if you have time and you want a better deal and you're okay losing this property, hey, let's play the negotiation game. Let's go ahead and exit that negotiations for a little bit. Say timeout. I don't like where this is headed. I'm going to keep looking. Come back to the seller in a week or two. I bet they're more agreeable. I bet you're able to drop the price $10,000, $20,000. That's what we used to do from 2005 to 2009. And wow, the listing agents just felt like a knife in their stomach and twisted. Yes, I know how to twist that knife. Okay, so just be ready. If your buyers are okay losing the property that they love, hey, we can negotiate a little bit harder. If they don't want to lose it, we probably shouldn't negotiate that hard. Okay, all right. Anyone else want to share before we get back to the presentation? Hopefully you guys are enjoying this today. I hope this was worth your time so far, right? We're an hour in, we've got 2 more hours to go. Okay, let me mute you guys. And we're back to the main show. Okay, so how do you feel about the market? How you feel about the market is what's going to happen in your personal market. It's what's going to happen in your production. If you fear this market, that's what you're spreading. So how you feel will determine how much you make. And I'm not telling you to lie to yourself. I'm telling you to educate yourself. You feel me? How you feel about your market is how your personal market's going to go, how your personal income's going to go. Okay, so where's the market going? I don't have a crystal ball, okay, but here's my thoughts. So I'm gonna steal some of what John said here. So I feel like most markets are going to continue to go flat and decline. I think we'll see a little bit of a spike in the spring market still. So we'll have a little bit of a push spring market, not a lot, not like previous spring markets. Okay, a little bit of push. So some of you guys will say, well, should then my seller wait? Not necessarily. I don't know. Like this is going to be a hyper local decision for you. But what if we continue to go down 3 to 5% and we go up 2 or 3% in the spring market? Just hypothetical. But then it would not have been advantageous for them to wait till spring market. So I do also agree with John that rates will probably stabilize where the historical averages are. Historical average for rates are around 5.5%, mid 5s. Okay, and so we're above 7 right now, and so I do see it settling around 5.5 to 6%. So we should drop, but right now Feds are really trying to control this inflation thing. I think I agree with a lot of you guys out there. Again, no crystal ball, but I would probably say that the Feds are probably still going to hike up the interest rate, and we're probably going to. It may get worse before it gets better, but. Second, third, fourth quarter, just like what John said, I agree. Again, this is just our experience from being in the marketplace for about 2 decades. Doesn't mean we're going to be right. We got to monitor this as we go, and we have to adjust to whatever comes our way. Okay. But that's my personal opinion, is that I think that we're gonna really be into a buyer's market by the end of next year. In most markets, not every single market, this is going to be a hyper local thing. And I think we're going to be rates around 5.5%. Does not mean people should wait. I mean, so we're going to go over in the next coming slides on who should move forward and why. And this is going to empower you to talk to people. Okay, so that's where I think the market's going. Again, just my opinion. I may be totally wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. What I'm saying is, hey, I've got the expertise to adjust. So as whatever hits us, we're going to adjust quickly to where it's going. Okay, so where are the opportunities in this marketplace? So I want you guys to jump in the chat on where the opportunities are in this marketplace, okay? And then I'm going to share with you guys my thoughts on where the opportunities are in this marketplace. But this is a very opportune market. You just have to learn how to recognize the opportunity. I think a lot of people don't recognize it because you guys have been lulled to sleep the last 2.5 years. Just trying to wake you guys up. So where's the opportunity in this marketplace? Jump in the chat and share with me where you think the opportunity is in the marketplace.
Felix, if I can share.
Yeah.
So I'm a data guy like Felix. That's why we get along. So there's a lot of business to be made on referral business. So if you look at, I don't know where you are in your local markets, you should look at the data on, where are people moving from, and connect with the realtors at those areas and build a referral business. And to be honest with you, that's a home run. Okay. I have realtors that are, making good money just on referral business. So the more time you connect, but you have to be very strategic on which markets that are moving to your location, right? So I just wanted to kind of share that.
Okay, I wasn't planning on sharing this, but I might as well since John brought it up here. This is called my Redfin migration tool. Redfin tracks everything that's relocating from an area to another. So let's say we're talking about New York City in John's market here. New York. All destinations, out of state filter. Most people from New York are moving down to Miami. So John should network with people from Miami, Philadelphia, Boston, Washington, D.C., Orlando, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Houston, Tampa, and Hartford, Connecticut in that order. Okay. And so you guys should play around with this tool and figure out, hey, where should I build some really strong referral networks? So if you guys are in Los Angeles, because there's no Orange County here, so a lot of you guys are in LA. So let's see how that looks for LA. Phoenix. So people in California or LA specifically are moving to Phoenix. They're moving to Las Vegas. They're moving to Dallas. They're moving to Seattle. They're moving to Houston, etc. And so then let's do this the reverse way. Let's say that they're moving to LA. Where are they moving from to LA? Seattle. So Kirkland, Washington, and Linwood, Washington are agents that are checking in from those locations. Hey, we're natural referral partners. Okay, New York. Hey, John. Hey, brother, we're natural referral partners here. Washington, D.C., my hometown. Hey, we're natural referral partners with the D.C. metro area. Chicago, Portland, Vegas, etc. So play around with this tool. So all you have to go is go to Google and Google Redfin migration tool and play around with it. And you can start building some relationships there. Okay, back to the presentation. Okay, so we got to make sure that, oh, I didn't talk about the opportunity. Let me go back. Okay, so here's where I see the opportunity. Okay, so number one, in any change or shift, there will be people that don't survive. And I don't want you guys to think that you're part of that group. I want you guys to believe that you're going to be the people that survive and thrive in this new market. But there will be people that put their head in the sands, choose not to change, choose to continue to do business how they did business the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. And their business is up for grabs for whoever on here is willing to shift quickly. And I've been on the good side of that. I've also been on the bad side of that when I didn't shift and change quick enough. And I'm just being honest and transparent with you, right? So I've been on the good side of that and the bad side of that. And so that's the first big opportunity on here. If you guys shift to the change, you get to just grab. It's literally like a cash grab in market share. You want to take market share from a top producer or a competitor, this is the best market. Shift quicker, change quicker, and you can come up, okay? Here's another place that I see a lot of opportunity. Everyone's going to want to write this down and hunt for these people. The people that had low to no down payment loans, FHA, VA, USDA, where else? Any like state like funded grants or government type loans. Guys, they just got their butt kicked the last market and no seller wanted to deal with those loan types. Guess what? Hey, I could ask any listing agent on here, if I gave you a full price offer and it was FHA, VA, and we have a state loan here that's CalHFA, I bet all of you guys would be drooling for those full price offers with those lower to no down payment loan types, guys. And I bet you guys would have refused them last year at this time. Opportunity. So where's the opportunity in that? Go through your database, go through your sphere of influence and figure out who got their butt kicked the last 3 years in the market and who's sitting on the sidelines. And if they can still afford to move forward today, this is the market to move forward. Mr. Veteran with the VA loan, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer with the FHA loan. Are you going to wait till the market gets good and then there's multiple offers again and you're going to still be on the outside looking in? Hello. And Scott said assumables. So, hey, there are assumable loans. There's not that many, but there are out there. And so you want to check if your seller has an assumable loan, check with your seller's lender. Maybe do like a three-way call with your seller's lender to figure out exactly how a potential buyer could qualify and assume their loan. And there are people that should buy and should sell. So let me tell you my personal opinion here. So on the listing side, if someone's looking to retire in the next decade, next 10 years, I believe that they should move off of their properties or some of their properties now. So if someone's looking to retire in the next 5 to 10 years, because of the unknowns in the marketplace the next 5 to 10 years, I think they should start moving off some of their properties and liquidating. Okay, so if you run across someone that is at or near retirement, wow, now's better than not knowing what tomorrow's going to bring. And you know, every market shift lasts 2 to 3 years. And so for those people that think, oh, this is just going to be a little hiccup in the marketplace, let me tell you, we've never had a little hiccup in history. So you think it's going to be a little hiccup that lasts 3 to 6 months? Wake up. Every shifting market lasts 2 or 3 years. And so if it goes down doomsday 20 to 30% in 2 or 3 years, you think overnight it's just going to go up 30 or 40% overnight? That's not how it works, guys. That's why I say if someone's going to retire in the next 5 to 10 years, they should probably consider moving off the property now. Here's why. Let's say that it's the worst case scenario, and for the next 3 years we drop 30%. Now where we're at, we're at around 2028, 2025, 2025. And let's say we're down 30% in the marketplace. What's going to happen in 2026, 2027, 2028? It's going to start coming up, probably, right? Just like it did in 2009. But did it go up 30, 40% in 2009 to 2010? No. For us to regain everything we lost, about 30 to 36% in equity from like 2005 to 2009, it took most people until 2015 to 2017 to recoup their lost equity. We have to learn from the past, guys. So if your seller's saying, well, I'll just wait a couple of years, I'm going to say, really? What do you think is going to happen in a couple of years that I don't know about? And I'm not going to say what you think is not going to happen because I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But if we look at history, it took about a year, year and a half to show the true market. And that true market lasted 4 or 5 years. And then it really wiped away about a decade worth of appreciation. I don't think that'll happen this time, but what if it wipes away 3, 4, 5 years of appreciation? I don't know what's going to happen. Are you really looking to sell during that market? Because I can't tell you if that will happen or not, but it's probably better to sell today, conservatively speaking. Is this helpful, guys? Okay, so who should buy? Someone that finds their forever home. Okay, so there's something called intangibles with home ownership. So what are the intangibles of home ownership? Man, if you love your house, maybe you have a better relationship with your significant other. Maybe you fight less. Maybe your kids have a better time in that house, and from that, you're more productive at work. Maybe because you have a better relationship with your spouse, you're more productive at work, and maybe you make a lot more money. These are intangibles of homeownership that I cannot put a price on. And so I walk buyers through this process and I say, well, would you stand a little taller? Would you be proud? Would you work harder buying right now? And those are people, if they find their perfect forever home, should buy now and move forward. If people are trying to time the market, if you try to research this like I have, it's really hard to time the market. People just get lucky. They don't actually really time the market. They get lucky. Of course, their pride and their ego wants to take credit for it. I would take credit for it too. At the same time, deep down, I know I just got lucky in timing the market. But there's always opportunity, guys, and we just have to recognize them. Some of your markets are starting to see some short sales and some default properties. We're not seeing that for the most part in Southern California, but be ready to jump into short sales and get that education like Brandon Lutran said. Okay, and set the right expectations for your clients, guys. And let me repeat this to my top producers out there specifically. Let me talk to my business partners, and then let me talk to the rest of you guys. Telling your client something once is not enough. And this is the common thing I've been talking about for about 60 days with my group. You must be a broken record. You must tell them 4 to 5 times before your unreasonable client hears you. Well, I told them how many times? Once? They didn't even hear you. They're not even thinking that you're serious about what you just said. Do you guys realize, like, when I'm training you guys, I repeat myself over and over and over and again? Do you know why? Because I was built in the last market. I was built in a tough market, and that's what we had to do to advise our clients. And that's what I do as a trainer. So if your clients are out of control, I will tell you that it's partially your fault. They may be unreasonable people, hey, but what kind of consultation did you give them? What kind of information did you give them? And how many times did you repeat yourself for that information? You guys should be circling on your page, repeat yourself repeatedly 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Like, yes, yes. And do you know what? Someone out there will say, wow, yeah, you've never told me that before. Yeah, maybe we do have to drop the price. Maybe we do have to make a change in how we're marketing our property. What? I told you like 8 times the last month. You just heard me for the first time? Wow, what? Do you guys know why that happens? It happens when I'm training you guys too. They're emotional. This is a very emotional process. They feel like the market wiped away their equity. They feel like the market stole their equity. This is very emotional for them. Do we realize that's why we have to keep repeating ourselves? And as Deborah's saying, reinforce your advice over and over and over again. So the house has to be perfect in the eyes of the buyer, and buyers are acting really, really weird and different than the last market shift. Do you know why? If they feel like their offer isn't even going to be considered by the seller, they're just not writing. Before they would write and see what happens, they're just not writing. So some of you guys out here are saying, wow, it's really funny, or it's really weird. We're not getting any offers. Yeah, you're way overpriced. That's what it means. And you don't want to hear that, because I'm on calls all day, every day with my agents, and they want to justify why they're on the right track. And I'm saying, nope, that's not what the actions of the showing agents are telling me. you're actually not on the right track. And the sooner that you realize that, the sooner you can actually help your client out. So it's got to be perfect in the eyes of a buyer in today's market, or the buyer will want a lower price, or for you or your seller to fix those issues that they feel is not right about that house. Some things you can fix, some things you can't. And whenever possible, you must get your seller to present their house in the perfect condition. If it's not perfect, buyers are going to ask for a deep price cut, whether that's a concession, whether that's a price reduction, or they're just going to keep looking. And contingent offers on the rise. Okay, so be prepared to talk to your seller about contingent offers. In the last market, people got exotic financing, they got bridge loans so that they could still close on your property in 30 days or less. No longer are they doing this. So if you are not a first-time home buyer category house, you got to talk to your seller and prepare them that, hey, we may get the perfect offer, but they may be selling another residence in another state or locally before they can buy your house. And if you guys are writing these contingent offers, also know that there are still multiple offers in the marketplace, and you can't assume that that's just going to fly with all situations. So both sides, we got to understand both sides from listing agent standpoint and also buyer's agent standpoint here. Lowball offers. So guys, if you guys are getting lowball offers, I see the biggest mistake that you guys are making is that you guys are not countering. Your sellers are so offended they're not countering. I need you guys to understand why buyer's agents are making lowball offers right now. Because they're trying to have the seller eat their possible future depreciation. They're trying to help to manage that fear that they have in the marketplace. They're not trying to offend your seller, guys. They may be trying to get a good deal to make sure that they're okay going into next year. We don't know what prices are going to do. Just because my opinion is that we're going to eventually be in a buyer's market does not mean I think that we're going to decline that much. We have to get really good at getting a pre-dated price reduction. And I should just talk to 3 or 4 of you guys last week about this. Hey, Lori, I know you want to list for $1 million. I really feel like the valuation is more like 925. So if we don't get 10 showings in the first week, let's enact this pre-dated price reduction that brings it down to 950 at least. And if you really, really feel like we can get $1 million, awesome. Let's see what the market says about that. Because again, this is not me versus you. This is us versus the market. I'm on your side. So what do you do if your listing isn't selling? First, we must understand what a qualified showing is. And this is repeat from my agents, because my agents know this. I'm prepping you guys for the business planning. We're going to get into it shortly here. So a qualified showing is a buyer that is pre-approved, pre-qualified with a lender and walking through with their agent. That's qualified showing. So they access the lockbox to get to see your property. Okay. We have to understand that open house traffic is a joke. Open house traffic is not necessarily qualified unless they're coming through with their agent. So you can't count open house traffic as valid traffic. And if you've been in the market since 2009, you count open house traffic, and I don't count that. I think it's imaginary because I've been in the business before 2009, and it's not accurate for this type of market. So only count qualified showings. Here's a hard truth. If you're not getting any showings at all, you're way overpriced. If you're getting showings but no offers, buyers like the house or they like the pictures they're coming in, but they don't love it enough to make it their home. There's something going on, something happening once they come into the house. And they're saying price versus what we're experiencing walking through the house, something's not equal. If you're getting a lot of showings and no offers, then they're liking something that they're not liking something they see when they get to the house. So that means that maybe you made the pictures look a little bit too great. Maybe it's not representative of how the house truly looks like. Okay. And so number 2 and number 3 indicate that there are issues with the property. And so remember that yesterday's comps may not represent what a buyer's willing to pay to get. Remember, again, appraisal value versus market value. Okay. So if your listing's not getting offers, first, I want you to count the qualified showings. Second, I want you to take your freaking listing agent goggles off because you're so biased. I don't understand why it's not selling. It's priced right. It's a beautiful property. Take your listing goggles off. I know they're glued to your face. You got to rip them off. And you got to look at your listing from the eyes of a buyer or buyer's agent. And make a list of all of the issues with the property that would prevent you from moving forward if you were a buyer in this marketplace. Make a list of all of those things and start addressing those issues with your seller. They can either fix it or they can throw money at it. Their choice. But they've got to overcome each of those issues. And you better check out competing properties that went under contract recently, the last 30, 45, 60 days. And call the listing agent and or try to figure out, well, why did that one move before mine? It's in the same exact community. It's the same exact layout, same exact model match. Why did that one move and mine didn't? Lower price, or it had a pool, or it had this feature or benefit. It was better upgraded for the same price. Got it. We must figure out why the competing properties are moving. And then here's the other thing. Rank your listing, again, unbiasedly. This doesn't work when you're biased. Rank your listing versus all the other competing properties within the community, within a 1 mile radius and within a 2 mile radius. And let's see how it stacks up against all the listings out there. And if you're not the prettiest listing at the best price, you're probably not the first one moving off the market. So if you're a betting person, as you're thinking about this, if you look at all the competing properties, which one do you think will move next? Guess and see if you're right. You can sort of test your skills in the marketplace right now. So buyers want to buy, but there's so much fear in the marketplace. Even with the fear, they're willing to move forward if they love the house and if they believe it's perfect. So again, we say this, and this is very true. Marry the house and date the rate. They can always refinance later. So John and myself and other people do believe that rates will settle back down below 6% sometime next year. We don't know when. I hope it's sooner than later. I hope it's before the end of the year. I just think it's going to be into next year before that happens. But if this is their forever home and they're going to see themselves in this house for the next decade or more, they'll still move forward. So this is an old saying that us old school agents know. It used to be like in a frame hung up like everywhere in offices and closing companies and attorneys' offices. But the house you saw today and want to think about is the house someone saw yesterday, has already thought about, and is moving forward with today. So if your client loves a house, they need to still move forward. There needs to still be a sense of urgency, unless they're okay with losing it. So I'm not here to pressure my clients forward. I just want them to understand the consequences of waiting. If you understand and you're okay losing it, hey, I'm okay waiting and losing it too. Awesome. I just don't want you to regret waiting and losing it. That's what I hate. Then I think I didn't communicate with you properly if that happens. That's my fault for being a poor consultant for you, okay? So if you love the house today, we need to write an offer today. If you're gonna regret not winning this house, if you're gonna regret not writing an offer to see if it could have worked out, then write. And this is my magical dialogue that I shared with my team months and months and months ago. We've been using this like crazy, and I'm gonna share it with you guys for the first time out in public in a non-paid space. I would rather you buy something you love now because there's less competition in the market than waiting until rates go back down, where market heats back up and we're in multiple offers again and you're settling for something that you like. Because that's exactly what would happen. When we have 30, 40 offers, there's one winner and 29 or 39 losers that don't get their dream home. And they eventually just settle for something that they like. Right now, the opportunity is that you can get something that you love. And then let's just refinance later. And some of my analyticals out there are saying, yeah, but can't we just time the market in a perfect world, have both, something that we love at the lowest interest rate? Yeah, don't take that class, as Jim Rohn used to say. Guys, it's possible, not very likely you can do that. Okay, so is your listing price to sell or overpriced? Right. So again, I'm going to say this again, never reject an offer in this market. We always should be countering. Get your client to counter everything. Because here's what you learn by countering. You at least learn what that buyer's top price that they're willing to pay is. Isn't that valuable? Because if you drop the price later after rejecting that buyer eventually, wouldn't you like to sort of have an idea where you need to drop your price to? So always counter, always counter. All right, now we're going to get into business planning, guys. I'm not going to touch base with you guys and have you guys speak right now because this is, I think, the money. And if you guys sort of like the information so far, I'm about to blow your socks off. So guys, don't overplan, guys. Plan enough to get started and then just adjust as you go. Plan enough just to get started. Don't go for perfection, guys. So if you're doing business planning like every single week, every single month, you're spinning your wheels, you're treading water, you're not going anywhere in your career. Okay, so this is just homework, guys. So do the vision board. And so this is the way I learned from mentors that were a lot older than me, 10, 20, 30 years older than me. When I was in my 20s, I was getting mentored by multimillionaires. That's why I'm built this way at 41 years old. That's why I know what I know, not from me, because I stood on the shoulders of giants that made a lot of money. And they were pouring into this young kid and me in the Army in Seattle, Washington, or suburbs of Seattle, Washington. Okay, so this is a lesson I did not take in my 20s. And I regret not taking this lesson in, and it cost me a lot of money. So I would like you guys to take this lesson in, but I'm not going to force you. You guys have to be willing to absorb this. And this lesson is this. You need to really think about where you want to see yourself and in your life long-term, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, to the point where it's reaching all of these categories. But where do you live? How does that house look? What do you drive? How does that car look? What's the make and model of that car? I'm not trying to push a Rolls Royce or a Bentley. It's whatever you want. If you like a Toyota Camry, that's great. Speak that into existence and put it out there and write it on your vision board and make sure that you're locked into these 5-year goals. What's more important is probably like food. So if you're at a Trader Joe's or a Vons or a Safeway or a Kroger's or a Food Lion, I think I represented most of the grocery stores around the nation, that's a certain budget. Going to Whole Paycheck is a certain budget. Buying organic only, fresh from the farm is another budget. Getting a personal chef to cook the organic only from the farm is a different budget. And so you guys have to think and plan your life by design, not by default of what life gives you. And so think about where you want your life to be 5 and 10 years down the road. And your 1-year goal is just a stepping stone there. And my naive, young, immature, 20-some-year-old self didn't understand this. And so I always hit my 1-year goal. I made a lot of money in my 20s. But because I didn't tie it to a longer term goal, nothing came of it. I should have already built an empire 10, 20, 30 times over, 100 times over than what I have now. I'm pretty successful. I should be ultra successful if I had a long-term vision. And I want to gift you my mistake. Don't make my mistake and have just a 1-year goal. You can make your 1-year goal and still be spinning your wheels. Have a longer term goal that you're really reaching for in all of these areas of your life. And you've got to have goals because, hey guys, you can't hit a target you don't know exists. You can't hit a target that you're not aiming for. So let me say this quote from Zig Ziglar. The fact is that you can't hit a target that you can't see. If you don't know where you're going, you will probably end up somewhere else. So you have to have goals. Isn't that good? I really like that. All right, so now take out your piece of paper. We're going to start business planning. I want you guys to participate. I want you guys to do this alongside with me. I hope you guys realize that I'm giving you a 4 or 5 figure consultation right now. This is a big deal for you guys. So let's say these are my goals. Okay, so first thing, I want you guys to pick. Here's your assignment right now. I want you guys to do this right now. Open up your camera so I know that you guys are doing this if your camera's working. Make 3 to 5 goals and make personal and business goals. Okay, so this is my example. My example is someone that wants to sell 20 houses this year, wants to make 200,000 GCI, wants to get out of debt and go on a family vacation. So all of the examples that we're talking about are going to be based on this hypothetical, but make this in real life for you right now. I'm going to give you guys 2 or 3 minutes to do this, and we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to pause the recording. Let's do this right now. Open up your cameras, open up your cameras, open up your cameras, open up your cameras, and do this actively right now. Don't put it till later. I've trained thousands of agents. I know if you put it till later, it will not get done. The universe is actually going to work against you if you do it later. Do not do that. Take action now, and I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Do not leave, guys. We have a lot of information to pack in the next hour and 20 minutes, but I'm going to pause the recording. All right, so Gina wants to save, invest, travel, another ARIA VIP. Gina, formerly ARIA Aloha chapter president. Janice, 48 sales, over 1 million, travel, income from investments for financial independence. There we go, some amazing goals. Okay. So if you guys don't want to share, that's okay. Here's what I need from you guys so I know what speed to go. We got to get this done. So write something down. Even if you would revise it later, I want you guys to methodically go through this exercise. Trust me to write down 3 to 5 right now, and then say done in the chat when you guys are done, so that I can lead you guys down the right path here. So I don't care if you adjust it later. I don't care if you adjust it later. You guys have to understand the methodology that we're dealing with, so you guys know how to adjust it later and still reach those goals. Whether you bring that goal up or down, that's your decision. You change the goals altogether, that's your decision. The framework is what's important. So we've got a good portion done here, guys. Keep jumping the chat, guys. So it looks like we've got about 24 people done out of 70. Let's keep, I'll give you guys a couple more minutes here, guys. 3 to 5 goals, guys. Let's wait for another 10 people to say done, and then we'll move forward. 1. If you guys are really done, say done in the chat so we're not waiting on you. I counted 1. We got 9 more people. 2. 3. Well, Destiny, I think you said that twice. So I'll count Brandon as 3 because Brandon just also, okay, there you go. Dominic 4. All right. Come on, 6 more people to get done, guys. And keep working as we go in the next slide, because this has to be done. So Randy, if you just rejoined us, you need to write down 3 to 5 goals and mix them between personal and business, just like the examples here. Okay. So we've got 6 and 7, 3 more people, guys. Did I count that right? I think I counted right. 8, 2 more people, guys. And if this is going too fast for you guys, 9, 1 more. You may want to jump back in tomorrow, 9 to 12. It'll be the same information, but it won't, right? Because I may say it slightly differently, but it'll be basically the same information. 10, 11. Okay. All right. All right. So let's break this down, this hypothetical example. And again, this framework is what's important. So let's tackle the first one. So in this example, I wanted to sell 20 houses, or this agent wanted to sell 20 houses. So what I want you guys to think about is, what do I need to consider to get there? So go ahead and write those down right now. Pick one goal. I don't care which one. If you have a production goal, whether you're a loan officer, you're escrow, you're real estate, related field, closing, okay? Whatever that is, go ahead and write down some things that you need to consider to get yourself to that goal. What do you have to think about? Maybe what do you have to measure? What do you have to do? So this is what I thought about. Hey, so to sell 20 houses, I have to think about what lead generation systems I'm going to employ. What market or what city or what areas am I going to focus on selling it? What niche will I sell to, if at all? Is there a niche? Is there a smaller segment of the market I'm going to really focus on? Reverse mortgage purchase, high-end luxury market, first-time home buyer market, investments, and with investors, what is there a niche I'm going to focus on? And then what marketing advertising I'm going to do, which is different from lead generation and prospecting, but a lot of people group it all together. So go ahead and write that down for your first goal, whatever that goal is. And if there's a light goal on production, you can even take some of this framework and you can write some other questions down for yourself. And it's really powerful to write it down because you're also reflecting at the same exact time. That's why I want you guys to write with pen to paper, or you're typing on Microsoft Word or Evernote or whatever, however you take notes. So you're going to build this out for one of your goals and list 3 to 5 things, at least 3 things. We don't want to go too much. Like don't write 20 things. We're trying to simplify this. So write 3 to 5 things that you need to do to get there. And then when you're done with this first goal, just one goal, you can start working on this for your second goal, but go ahead and put done in the chat before you start working on doing this for your second goal. But it's the same framework and process. We're going to build it out. All right. So Chris, I see you. Phoebe, I see you. Okay. So we've got 2 people done with this first thing. 3. Imelda, I see you. Roy, I see you. 4. So now those people that are done, go back and now do this for your second goal. Kair's done. Gabby's done. Steven's done. Christina's done. It's important so that you don't hold up the group that you play team and participate, and just put done in the chat box also. Lily's done and Alan is done. Esmeralda's done, Liana's done, and Destiny's done, and Nardina's done, and Tanya's done, and Rennie is done, and DJ is done. Lisa's done, and Barbara's done, and Aiden's done, and Scott's done, and Brandon is done. Chi is done, and Gina is done. Okay, now guys, when you get done, Janice is done, go back and do this for your second goal. Randy is done, Fanny is done. Okay. So we'll wait for another 5 people, and then I'm going to go to the next slide. But guys, just keep on going through this methodology for goal number 1. If you need a little bit more time, okay, it's okay. We work at different speeds, so don't feel that pressure. We don't need to feel pressured. Why? Yelena's done. Kathy's done. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. Three more people, and then we will go to the next slide. But keep working on this. Deborah's done. Keep working on this. Build this out. So if you only get through 2 or 3, it's better than having 4 that are not complete. We're waiting for 2 more people to be done before we switch slides, guys. But just because we're switching slides doesn't mean you should switch slides to goal number 2. You should stay on goal number 1 if you need to still build it out. And Steven's done. 1 more person. And I see some people with heads down working. 1 more person. By the way, if you guys participate, you'll make more money. That's a known fact. There's someone called Why Are We Doing This Meeting? So I'd like to know who that is also. That's a funny name. One more person, waiting on one more person to get done. And Phoebe and Lori, see you guys. All right, next. Let's say you want to make 200,000 plus or whatever you want to make. I saw my friend Janice wanted to make over $1 million. Okay, so first we have to determine, hey, what is our average price point? So if you guys are brand new, what's the average price point for your area? If you guys are seasoned agents, you should probably start with what history has told you from what was your average price point last year or the last 2 years. How many houses do you need to sell to make that income? And do you know how to figure that out? And what skills do you need to learn to make 200,000 plus? And here's a big kicker. So who are you surrounding yourself with? And are they helping you to make that money or are they not? So if they're negative people, if they're people that don't make that kind of money, is that the best atmosphere to pull you up to a new income level? So my goal is to have an environment where we are conducive to creating more and more and more and more top producers. So we have 76 and 7-figure earners, because that's the environment we want to create. We want to create where these top producers are sharing their knowledge, sharing what they see in the marketplace and pulling other agents up. So who are you surrounding yourself with? Okay, so do this for goal number 2. Whatever that goal is. So now build out goal number 2, whatever that goal is, whether it's an income goal or something else, build that out now. Hey, that's funny. The person that was why are we doing this meeting left? I'm guessing that person was probably another manager, another recruiter. People like to check this out sometimes. But if you stay anonymous, I wonder why. Okay, so again, now if you guys are done with goal number 2 and 3 to 5 things, again, jump in the chat and say you're done. So it's 10:54 right now. If you're live with me, if you're watching on replay, it's whatever time it is. But now if you're done with this one, I see you, Nerdine, start commenting, and then we'll get this going also. So now you've built out now 2. Good job, guys. Let's keep going. And if you guys are newer and you don't know how to frame this, we can have a follow-up on making sure that these 3 to 5 things that you're listing below each goal will actually get you to your goal. I see you, Destiny and Liana and Fanny and Phoebe and Gabby and Lisa. And Scott, Barbara, Lily, and Roy. And again, if you guys are done, go ahead and do this for goal number 3. And then when you're done with that, do it for goal number 4. But I'm gonna wait for the group here. And the magic is gonna happen right after this. So this is probably gonna be the most eye-opening part of all of this, because I'm gonna show a lot of you guys how everyone on this call could possibly make 800,000 plus. I'll give you the business plan. And it will seem a lot easier to accomplish and less overwhelming than you think. I see you, Roy and Chi and Dan and Rennie and Scott. Why do we have hecklers that name themselves, why are we doing this meeting? And then they leave without, I mean, at least open up your camera and engage, right? Come play. Why hide in the dark? I see you, Yelena and Deborah and DJ and Aiden. Don't hide behind your keyboard. Step up to the plate. I see you, Phoebe and Esmeralda. And Care. And Donovan and Randy. All right, so the third goal in this hypothetical was get out of debt. Okay, so third goal in this hypothetical was get out of debt. And so we're going to do this now with the third goal on your list also, whatever that looks like. It may or may not be this goal. I don't know what your goals are. Okay, so if you're in debt and this is one of your goals to get out of debt, well, how much debt are you in? What is the plan for paying it down and paying it off? How will you decide what bills to pay? And what will you do with the money that is paying this monthly revolving debt once you pay off the debt? So go ahead and build this out for goal number 3. And Phoebe already knows the drill. So Phoebe's done with goal number 3 and listing out the action steps or the things that she needs to consider. And Deborah is done. And I see you, Brandon. All right, now I'm going to move forward because we've done this now 3 times here now. Okay, and so family vacation. So what's your budget? Where are you going? When are you going? And what does it mean to your family? So I'll share. So before the pandemic, my wife and I had tickets booked to Italy, and literally we're planning out the train ride and the ferry rides, and everything was planned out. And then Italy, if you guys remember, at the start of the pandemic, got hit really, really hard. So we canceled and we're like, hey, but Greece is open. So let's now just revert and go from Italy to Greece because we still want to go to Europe. And then Greece got bad and locked down also. And we're like thinking, Vietnam, Bali, and all of that just got shut down. Our original budget was 10,000. I think because we've waited 2 years and inflation, we probably now need to make that $15,000 or $20,000 for a budget. We would be going to Europe somewhere. I think that's where my wife would prefer. When we got a time, whether that's going to be now or after we have a second child, and then what it means for a family. Wow, it's some place that we both have never been and has a lot of history, has a lot of great food. Has a lot of culture, has a lot of great shopping. And because we didn't get to go, we felt robbed of it because of the pandemic. It's going to be really impactful that we get to go when we go. So go ahead and build that out for goal number 4. Okay. And do it right now. And so what I want you guys to do is when you guys are done with all 4, with 3 to 5 action items each. Mine were not necessarily action items, guys. Mine were just questions of thought, so you guys could get to your 3 to 5 action items per. Go ahead and now comment in the chat, not done, but 4. So I know who's done with all 4. I see you, Gina. And up, what you see right now is what I believe is the best. The best lead generation prospecting systems, the most efficient, the most effective. So I see you, Brandon and Liana and Simon and Yasmin and Stephen. So guys, comment 4. So I know you guys are done. Lisa, Aiden, okay. And so now look at this list. So those of you who are done. If you're not done, keep working. If you're done, comment 4 and then start looking at this list and say, which ones are going to be my 3 to 5 prospecting systems that I'm going to master this quarter? I'm going to just focus on. And then comment 4 in the chat. And I'm counting the comments here. to make sure that we're moving at the pace of the majority of the people in the group here. So keep commenting 4 when you're done with all 4, and then look at this list and pick 3 of 5 that you are going to master by the end of the year, because now we're in Q4. And I'm going to tell you, for 80-90% of you, Sphere, open houses, and social media should probably be part of your 3 to 5. Just saying. Just saying. Keep pushing the 4s if you guys are done with all 4. Again, I want you guys to walk away. We are just under an hour, 58 minutes left. This is a very long training, but I want you guys to be hyper productive during this training. I want you guys to walk away with an executable business plan. I'm gonna give you guys a couple more minutes, and then we just have to move forward because of time. And then go ahead and write down your 3 to 5 lead generation systems that you are going to really focus on. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to put blinders to anything else. So if I'm doing only Sphere, open houses, social media, and let's say cold calling, that means I'm not going to consider anything else. And I'm only going to go to training that betters my knowledge of those 3 or 4 or 5 prospecting systems, and that's it. We need to stop chasing shiny objects. Okay, so we got to move forward. Okay, so if you're not done with all 4 goals, I need you guys to commit to finishing that process out by the time you sleep tonight. Do not go to sleep without finishing building out those 4 goals and having 3 to 5 action steps for each goal. Okay, now I want you, everyone now needs to focus on this list and pick 3 to 5 of these that they're going to focus on. You guys can have others, right? But in my opinion, these are the most effective. Best bang for your buck also. These are typically low to no cost systems also. We're not talking about marketing and advertising like Zillow leads and Realtor.com leads and things like that. Okay, these are low to no cost. If you guys have like an ad spend budget, it's going to be a different business plan. Okay, and so because of time, we got to move forward. So go ahead and take a screenshot of this if you guys haven't selected your 3 to 5 yet. So some of you may not select it yet. Again, by the time you go to sleep tonight, what do you have to do? Have that in stone. I may want to do this. I may want, no, you cannot be wishy-washy. You've got to have your 3 to 5 and just drive those home. Part of the reason why you haven't gotten your goals is your indecision. So my analytical people on here, you guys can think about this all you want. You just have to make a decision before you go to bed. You can think about it all day long, but it's got to be done. And you're gonna go ahead and move forward and execute on whatever you've got. Okay, it's just like juggling. So I'm the only trainer that I've ever heard say this, and I think it makes perfect sense. So if you got, I love Cirque shows in Vegas and all over the world. So I think juggling seems really simple but really hard. So when I see people juggle, I'm really fascinated, especially if they're juggling chainsaws and they're juggling a lot of them, 10 chainsaws, and they're heavy and they're throwing them in the air like they're a feather. It's crazy, right? And so what always happens with every single juggler, I don't care if they've got discs or if they've got batons or balls or whatever they're juggling, they always start with 3. So this is why we also pick 3 to 5 prospecting systems, because you can only juggle about 3 if you're brand new. And as you juggle 3 and you get used to it and it's easy, then you add a 4th ball, a 4th prospecting system. Then you add a 5th. Then you can have 6th, the 7th, and 8th. And then eventually you could be like one of my good friends in Orange County. She's a top KW team here. She sells over 200 houses a year in Orange County, California. And when I was in management, I asked her, hey, so how many prospecting systems do you have? Over 20. Over 20. Wow. But how many did you start with? She said, well, I was a top producer, so I had 7 in place. So I started with 7, and then I would implement 2 or 3 at a time, 2 or 3 at a time, master them, 2 or 3 at a time, master them, 2 or 3 at a time, master them. If you guys look at her business and you guys try to duplicate 22 systems today, you'll fail. Do you guys realize that? That's not the way to tackle that. The way to tackle that is 3 to 5 and become an expert at 3 to 5 and make sure those 3 to 5 are paying you money. Then you add a 4th and a 5th and a 6th and a 7th and an 8th. And one day you'll have 22 and you'll be closing 2, 3, 4, 500 properties. So dedicate 4th quarter to building those out and commit to being an expert at each of these systems. And after you're comfortable, add a 4th, add a 5th, add a 6th. Is this making sense? This is to simplify this process and not get overwhelmed. Yes, this same exact material will be available tomorrow also. So if you guys want to come back and attend tomorrow, you can repeat some of the material. I'm probably going to say it differently. This is not like a canned presentation. Like literally, this is the first time I'm training on these exact slides in this order. So it'll be 80% the same, but there'll be a little flair difference. And there's different people. We're not going to have Chi and John on tomorrow's call probably. So there'll be maybe other people that chime in, or we may have more silence. Okay, so this is my sphere system I teach. This is the gold, guys. So here, you take a screenshot of this. So daily calls, so 10 calls and 10 texts out to your sphere. Weekly, you got to talk to 50 unique or different people. Monthly, you got to talk to at least 100 different people every single month. And you have to talk to your entire sphere of influence every single quarter. And your goal is to see them every single quarter. And that is really easy to do 4th quarter. Halloween, Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving, holiday parties, New Year's, Chinese New Year's for people that celebrate it, Valentine's Day going into 1st quarter. Guys, so many things are happening in Q4. You can see most of your sphere if you plan this right. Then we teach to do pop buys, and then you teach quarterly mailings. And we have agents in my group that thrive just on this system, and they're making multiple 6 figures just from this system. Let me prove it to you by numbers. Here's the magic, guys. Are you ready for it? So assuming you know 200 people, the national average, according to the North American Moving Company, is that 14% Americans are moving each year. So there's a possible 28 transactions from that. So it depends on what your percentage of your database is, renters versus owners. So let's say half are renters and half are owners. So that's 14 possible transactions that you could possibly capture. 14 at an average sales price of $600,000 at 2.5% at an 80% split is $168,000 just for this one system. And we're not assuming they're going to refer anyone else to you. Do you remember that my first coaching client, the couple in California, Arcadia, California, that did 800,000 GCI last year? They have a sphere of 225 people, and all their business is from their sphere. So this is a very low estimate, is what I'm saying. Very conservative is what I'm saying. If you guys will work, who's ready to work? Okay, so does this make sense? You guys can take a screenshot of this. It's going to be magic next, guys. Okay, so look, open house. So, hey, send out 100 emails per week to get your open houses. So your goal is to get 2 open houses per week that have at least 10 groups of people coming through. And if you complete at least 8 open houses per month with a minimum of 4 hours open, that means 1 to 5, 12 to 4, whatever the time is, and you hold 60 open houses a year, what does that look like numbers-wise? Let's look at these numbers. 60 open houses, 10 groups through, 600 groups through. Let's assume half of them have agents that they sign buyer brokers with, which is not true. Half of them are not going to have buyer broker sign. Half of them will have agents, but they will not have buyer broker sign, so they're dating, not married. You can actually take their clients because they have no buyer broker sign. This is ethical per the Realtor Code of Ethics if you do this right. So that's why I say ha ha ha, because really you could actually convert most of that 600. Okay. So let's just say that 300 of the 600 actually had buyer broker sign. Haha, not true, not accurate, but I'm trying to make the number low so you understand. 300 groups, 5% conversion is my average conversion from who I teach my system, my process to 15 clients. 15 clients times your average sales price times your commission percentage times your split. Let's do that again. 15 times 600 times 2.5% commission split or 10% commission percentage, 80% split, 180,000 for this system. I have people that make 300,000-400,000 from just open house systems. Again, we're saying it low so you guys can actually believe that this is possible. Can you see we're breaking it down now? Everything is broken down. And some of you guys already realize what we're doing. Right now, this is yearly. We're going to break it down to every single quarter. So instead of saying, wow, 60 open houses for the year, that's really daunting. Let's divide it by 4. Can we do 15 open houses a quarter? Yes, we can. 15 open houses in 12 weeks? Yes, we can. Do you know that 15 gets you to this goal? Hello, is this eye-opening, guys? All right, and then we have social media system like LinkedIn, like Facebook groups, like TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and YouTube long form and the other organic posting methods like posting organically and putting things up on Facebook, Instagram stories. So let's talk about TikTok and Reel system. So you can make a list of video ideas. So we have a running list of, I think, over 100 ideas. And then we make an outline of what we're going to say about that idea or about that title or about that concept. And then you got to learn some basics about the algorithms on TikTok and Reels. And then you're making 5 videos a week. And I don't care if you make them daily or you stack them up and you do them all in one day. You can build up to it, guys. You're probably going to be afraid of how you look. You probably are going to be more critical about yourself in the beginning. So you may only make 1 or 2 videos a week, but you want to get to the goal where you're making 5 videos a week, every single week, because these will be mini assistants working for you 24/7, leveraging your time, looking for clients, attracting clients to you. This is one of the biggest secrets of this year. And then YouTube. Same thing, make a list of videos, make an outline of what you'll say, start making YouTube videos. Again, they're like assistants working for you 24/7, even while you're sleeping. And we have all of the classes and methodologies behind all of these strategies. I'm just giving you an overview. What about a Facebook system? So join 5 to 10 Facebook groups with at least 10,000 plus followers. Post in the groups to get engagement and get known in the group. And you like and comment on the comments that are made inside of your post. And then you take it to a private messenger conversation, you chat it up, and then you make an offer for your services. So let's look at that. Let's look at how these numbers may work out. So let's say that you guys get so skilled at this technique that for every 100 to 150 messages, like these are cold messages, it's basically like cold calling, but in message form through Facebook Messenger. Let's say every 100 to 150 picks you up a client. Well, how many posts do you need to make to get to 100 or 150 conversations or comments? You could make one that goes pretty viral or one that gets a lot of traction engagement that'll have 100, 150, even 200-300 people to comment on. Or you get 10 posts that get an average of 15 comments, or you get 20 posts that get an average of 8 comments. And let's say that takes you 1 month to get 150 conversations going through posting on Facebook groups. 12. Let's do one a month. You're in 150 conversations each month. 12 times 600 times 2.5% interest, 80% split, 144,000. If you do it weekly, if you're picking up a client a week from this strategy, it's 624,000 a year. Hello. Did I wake you guys up? What about my LinkedIn system? So you're capped out at 100 connection requests per week if you have the free version of LinkedIn. If you're making a minimum of 3 business posts a week, if you're liking and commenting on 10 posts a day, and then you're sending out 300 offer messages per month, let's see how those numbers work out. 100 connections a week means about 400 connections per month. You're going to get 20 to 50% to accept your connection request. That's going to be 80 to 200 new connections per month. So here's my numbers from my agents that we train on this technique. We may have some of them on here if you guys want to voice yourself and throw some comments in the chat. So typically for every 100 conversations that we have on LinkedIn, these are cold messages, we'll pick up a lead. For every 2 leads, we'll pick up a client. So basically that means that every 200 messages, we pick up a client. So let's just say, let's go low. Let's say that, for every month, 80 new connections are made. There's 12 months in the year. 960 new connection requests are made. That's 9 to 10 leads, which is 4 to 5 clients. Let's go low. So 4 clients at 600,000, et cetera. So this one system could be $48,000 more for you this year. This is not the class for it, right? All of these classes are 1 to 2 hours in length, but I'm showing you the numbers here. And this is what you guys have to do to break down your business plan. Are we doing this? We should be doing this, right? What about cold calling system? So who are you going to call? What type of people are going to call? Are you going to call for sale by owner? Are you going to call expired? Are you going to do circle prospecting? What are you going to do? Then you got to just have to pick and practice a script. You have to have a baseline here. So if you guys are doing cold calling or door knocking, you have to understand that you have to work off a script. Okay. So if you go off your charisma, you may convert a little bit better, faster in the beginning, but you're never going to get consistent if you're just going off of charisma. You got to go off of the script. Okay. So then you role play and you do your objection handlers. So when and how long are you going to call? When and how long? So let's look at how these numbers could work out. Let's say you make 300 calls a day and you jump on 9 actual conversations. Let's say it takes you actually 27 conversations to get 1 listing. That means every 900 calls you make, you get a listing. And let's say that you make 900 calls a month to get a listing a month. That's 12 listings a year. That's $144,000 from a cold calling system. Hello, wake up. Hello. Do you understand the breakdown? And so you guys may not know your ratio. Who cares if it's 1,800 calls to get a listing? You just have to get your ratio, then improve from there. Door knocking, very similar. Who are you door knocking? What are you bringing to them of value to start that conversation? When and how often are you going to door knock? And are you using a script in which one? Here's the numbers. So let's say the average person, if they're walking, you're gonna hit 20 to 30 doors an hour. Let's say you get 1.5 conversations for every 30 doors that you knock. This is pretty real, guys, right? So tell me that, and this is the numbers I hear from the people that door knock. I've only ever door knocked expireds. So I never actually was canvassing door knocking, except maybe for promoting an open house. So I could hit about 30 doors an hour if I was going straight down the street. If I was really speed walking, maybe 40 or 50. Some of you guys can hit 60 doors an hour. I have no idea how you're flying from house to house, okay? But 30 is an average. So let's say for every 120 doors, that's 4 hours per week of work. That's 6 conversations. And let's say 12 conversations equals a client. And let's say the goal is to get to 12 conversations every single month. This is how numbers could look. So let's look at these numbers. So what if one day you mastered all of these systems I just described? You had a 20-person sphere of influence that you called and saw once a quarter. You held 60 open houses per year strategically. You sent out and had 150 Facebook conversations per month. You sent out 400 connection requests on LinkedIn and messaged everyone. If you dialed 900 cold calls per month on FSBOs and expireds, and if you door knocked 240 doors per month and you got that conversion, that's how much you could make. Do you know why we're not there, guys? You get complacent, you get lazy, you ride your momentum, you're not consistent, you do what you want when you want, you're not on a schedule. You're in your own head and believe that you can't even sell one house. I'm not worried about you selling one house. Let's get you to 10, 20, 30 houses. Look beyond the one house. Do you know the people that have the toughest time? That focus on their first transaction. If you guys are brand new, don't focus on your first. Assume that you're going to sell one, keep on rolling. But do you know new agents put so much pressure on themselves to get that first one done? So now let's simplify it. Okay, so I want you guys to, you can literally take my system, guys. I want you guys now to simplify it to each quarter now for your 3 to 5 prospecting systems. Divide your yearly activities that you're going to write up into quarterly activities and keep track of those week to week on what you're finishing, and start knocking down that goal little by little, bite by bite, week by week. And now it's very easy to attain that goal, is it not? It's less overwhelming, it's less daunting, is it not? So you want to commit and focus on completing those activities each quarter. No more new projects, no more adding new things to the plate. Do not attend any trainings that don't fit your lead generation systems that you're focusing on that quarter. Hey, great. If you want to do X, I don't know, let's say you're adding door knocking or geographic farming, great. Next quarter, you're adding it, not this quarter, next quarter. This quarter, you're focused on something else. Is that making sense, guys? Because if you're always restarting your plan, you're never getting anywhere. You don't have to master each one. I would tell you the goal is to try to master, but you don't actually have to master each one. You just have to get them up and running and complete those activities for growth. If you just complete the activities, you will grow and you will still love your results. If you did those activities and made half of that number I showed you, you would still love the results. Most of you guys, unless you're some of my 7-figure earners on here, then you're like, man, that's a drop in income. I don't want that. Is this helpful, guys? Is this simplified? Like, I want to hear, don't just tell me like, yes, like I truly believe it. Is this more simple, or are you guys actually more overwhelmed? Let's jump in the chat. I'm gonna let you guys unmute yourself pretty soon. So let's simplify it further. Divide your quarterly activities by 12 and figure out what your weekly activities are. Then put that crap in your calendar and surrender and just do it. But also make sure that you have 4 to 5 tasks from your list of weekly activities that you have to hit daily no matter what. Those are your 4 to 5 daily non-negotiables for your business. Doesn't have to be anything super daunting. Lori said very helpful. Scott said very helpful. I see you, Simon. Okay, again, so now that I provide a lot of value, who wants to text real estate to that toll-free number and get added to future trainings? Phoebe, one of my brand new agents, said definitely helpful, simplifies everything, and it's hard to determine where to start and when. And so there's many ways to achieve the same goal. This helps a ton to focus. We got to focus, guys. Text real estate to 855-967-3700. Okay. I think this is the last part. So we're on schedule. And that means that we get to talk, and I can't wait for that discussion at the end of this. So we're finish up the next 15 or 20 minutes, and then let's chit chat. So I hope you guys can stay on until 12 to chit chat, because man, we've got a lot of amazing people, like top producers, people like John that owns his own franchise. I'm a former franchisee. I don't want to be a franchise owner anymore. That was not the best experience for me. But let's talk about scheduling your calendar out. We must commit to everything with calendar, guys. It cannot be an option. If you guys put in a calendar, it has to get done. That's how we have to mentally think about it. And then you'll do it. You're more likely to follow through. So this is going to be homework, but this is, again, going to help you simplify. If you guys have always tried to stick to a calendar and never got there, Quickly write down what you did yesterday as a baseline day. This is your baseline morning routine or your base morning routine. Okay, so take a screenshot of this because I want to get to the group discussion. So we're not going to really focus here. This is not where we're going to focus. So take a screenshot of this. And then we're going to create our perfect morning routine. And so take a screenshot of this also. So what does that perfect morning look like? What's that perfect wake up time? What are you doing in your perfect morning? Are you meditating? Are you saying things of gratitude and appreciation? Are you connecting with your partner? Are you journaling? Are you drinking warm water? Are you reading? Are you taking a protein shake in? Are you working out? Are you getting some inspiration in? Are you eating breakfast? Are you going for a walk? Are you doing personal hygiene? And then when you work, are you going to the office? Are you working from home? Are you writing down your goals? What does that perfect morning routine look like? You know, I was taught by a lot of coaches, I believe, no offense to them, a very overwhelming way to do this. They basically just will your way into it. You know what I was taught growing up in this business from every single coach I ever came across? They said, just willpower your way into the perfect morning routine in your perfect day. And, you know, I always failed and I felt like crap. Who's been there? I'm like, what the heck? How come I can't stick to this more than 3 days, 5 days, a week? If I'm super motivated, how come I fall off after a week? It's too dramatic of a change. And so here's what I teach. And this is how my coaching clients, my agents really level up really, really quickly. This is actually the fastest way. Do you want to hear it? Ready? Take that screenshot. Oh, affirmations. Take a screenshot here also. All right. So pick 5 or 10 of these to say every single morning. Take a screenshot of this. I can also make this available in our team group, but create some affirmation that you want to say. Okay. Other things to consider, education. So if you're a top producer, you're probably doing about 2 or 3 hours of education in this shifting market a week. Yes, top producers, you have to get back to training 2 or 3 hours, sharpening that sword, getting better. If you're not getting better, you've got to get more efficient. So if you're a top producer on here and you say, well, I feel like there's no value in that education, I would say I don't agree, but here's the only way you get let off the hook. Then you have to get more efficient. So do you have checklists in your business for everything that you do and everything that your staff does? Do you have videos explaining every step of the process to your buyers, to your sellers, to your renters, to your investors about the whole buying or selling process? Make those videos and get them in place so that you don't have to keep repeating yourself and you're taking back your time. We have to do one or the other. We got to keep growing ourselves and improving, or we better get more efficient. I would tell you to do both, guys. Okay. If you're brand new, you're doing probably up to 10 hours of education per week. Don't do more than 10. Some of you guys are professional students and you do 20, 30, 40 hours of training and you don't sell any real estate. That's a problem. Cap it out at 10. Because guys, honestly, you can't probably absorb more than 5 to 6. Are you really absorbing 10 hours? You're watching 10 hours. So if you're brand new, like I'm actually just saturating you with information and we're just seeing what sticks. So I'm not actually thinking that you're going to absorb 10 hours. I do recommend to our new agents to do 5 to 10 hours, and it's more of trial by fire, and you'll catch more because you're introduced to more. But that's not going to work for a seasoned agent. Seasoned agents need to be less than 5 hours and implementing, less than 5 hours implementing. Where are you going to spend personal development? What about practicing your presentations? What about practicing your contracts and offer writing? And new agents, take a freaking MLS and a contracts class from your association, guys. So let's set your calendar. So first, let's schedule your personal non-negotiables. This is time off. This is family time. Maybe this is dropping off or picking up your kids. This is maybe church, maybe date night, maybe taking care of a family member or a parent for medical stuff. What does this look like for your personal non-negotiables? And then schedule your business non-negotiables. What's your business non-negotiables? Go ahead and schedule these right into your calendar. And take a picture of this because we're going to speed through this. I want to get to the section where we just open it up for discussion. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say and share. Here's the mistake that people do. They don't schedule their personal non-negotiables into their calendar. That's the biggest mistake I see here. They'll schedule some of their business non-negotiables, but they won't schedule their personal non-negotiables. And then what happens is when they get busy, they just sacrifice their personal non-negotiables. And then 3, 4, 5, 6 months in the road, you're creating rifts in your family life and in your relationships. If you do that, you're going to have to spend a lot more time later to repair. Okay, so go ahead and take a screenshot of that. Here are all the presentations you should be building, and we're building all of these out. So my agents are excited because I'm building them all of these investor consultations, flipping consultation, wholesaling consultation, short-term rental consultation, multifamily consultation, commercial consultation, and a renter's consultation. We already have buyer's consultation and listing presentation built out. And we already have the dialogue that you need to say every single slide built out for you. Just wait until we build the rest out. These are what you need to build out, guys. There's that again. All right, questions, guys. We're all done. Let me open it up. Let me open it up so we can chat and have a conversation. You're allowed to unmute yourself. Let's have a discussion. I want to hear feedback, guys. Like, tell me if it's still overwhelming. Like, tell me, I want to know. This is the first time I've done the slide deck and everything.
Felix,
Yes.
for the buyer consultation, the seller's consultation, how do I attend that, or where to?
We will schedule those in future classes, but the replays are already available in our weekly team newsletter. So look there for those trainings. They're in there. And then also they're in the team training library. We've got over 50 trainings on YouTube, over probably 200 hours of training on the team training library link inside the newsletter. So it's right there. Yep.
Thank
And also the actual PowerPoints are available to download also right in the team newsletter.
Thank you.
You are welcome. What else, guys?
Oh, am I able to talk now? Yeah. So I wrote down all my goals and what I want to do. I don't know if it's just like a thing that plagues me, but I tend to have pretty like far out goals, and I try to hit them. So one of the goals I'll share, just one of them, is I want to make 250K GCI next year, going to 2023. And it says all I need to do is 13 closes. If it's like a $1 million average market, which is Long Beach, then it only needs 13 closes, which I'm sure is doable if I do open houses and work buyers. And another way is to work renters, because nobody's doing them. Because today actually,
Randy, let's time out here. So let me share with you something I'm noticing right now. You shared with me that you're really confident and you may not have to do that like negative self-talk practice. I'm going to tell you from exactly what you just said, we still need to work on some of that there's some doubt and some limiting beliefs that you still have in exactly what you just said. So my best value for you as my new business partner is that I'm going to say, hey brother, like we got to have definite goals. So if you want to hit 250, if you're going to close 13 houses, own it and don't say maybe. There's no maybe in your goal. It's I'm going to hit it. And this is the exact activities I'm going to do to hit it, and then break it down from this methodology to a weekly and then daily structure on what little small incremental things I have to do every single day and every single week. And you will hit that goal. Own it though. Own it. Don't say maybe. Let's own it.
yeah, I'm gonna own it. I will do it. I know I have that self-doubt. I'm trying to erase it. Other realtors have told me that it's unrealistic. I've been told before.
Who cares? Who cares? So you're letting other people and their opinion get in your head and get in the way of your goal. Who cares what they say? So do that activity at the beginning of this class, and that will still help to resolve that. Who else, guys? Gina, I see you unmuted. You have something to add?
I just really appreciate your expertise, and I've been in the business 20 years, but every year I need this class every single year. You need that reset and that refresh, and I really appreciate your time and expertise, Felix. Thank you.
Oh yeah, and thanks, Gina. Thanks for trusting me. So Gina, by the way, just signed up her whole brokerage for my coaching. So if you guys want to inquire about that, just go ahead and text real estate to that toll free, and I'll get back to you also in the future about information about some amazing coaching. So we've got a charter membership right now. There's less than 10 left, but it's $96 for the whole year for charter membership, and that's your renewal rate. And they will go up. And I'll tell you the secret, it's going to go up to $88 a month. So it's $96 for the year, and it's going to go up to $88 a month. So basically, why would you do that? Why would I have a lot of business partners that signed up. I think I have 20 or 30 business partners signed up. You know why? Because they get access to my best friend. And then eventually we're going to build out to have half a dozen or a dozen coaches. You get access to all of these coaches, and they may not be part of your company. You may not normally have access to them. So it's going to be like a coaching catalog of all these different amazing coaches. So pitch over. All right. What else? Nerdine?
Hey, Felix. Yeah, I think over like basically breaking down what your hours need to be and your activity needs to be is really helpful going into real estate, because I think that's like the most important part to like focus on what your goal is and to actually do it day by day.
Yep, there you go. And really it's winning the week. You don't actually have to win every single day. You just have to win the week. So winning the week is only getting maybe 3 or 4 good days out of the week. Some of you guys beat yourself up so badly when you don't win every single day. Guys. Stop trying to win the battle, win the war. This is a long game, guys. As long as you win the week and you have more good weeks than bad weeks, you're going to have a great year. So here's the thing, right? Nerdine, hey, you're going to chunk it down to weekly activities and daily activities. And if you don't complete it that day, don't beat yourself up. Just make sure it gets done in that same week and you're still on track, right? So that's the secret. Yeah. And I'm not saying that you would do that. I'm just saying, guys, like everyone can accomplish whatever they want as long as they're willing to put in the work.
Hi, this is Chi.
Hey, Chi.
So I met Felix in one of these coaching stuff on Facebook a couple of years back, and I implemented very similar stuff that he was talking about. Probably 2 years ago, I think I took a bunch of classes, but I would definitely recommend you take the coaching, because I was really, really fixed on not signing up for it, but I definitely need it. I actually still, to this day, have the book recommendations that he had on one of the classes that I took from him. And I've implemented it. I have a perfect morning. Now this is more like, this class was a reset and refining those things on my calendar. I have everything from drinking water, 1 minute meditation, everything is on my calendar. Now what he just reminded me was I don't have that non-negotiable for family stuff, which is what I started to do. But this was definitely a gem, something that I needed as a reset from the shift. And if you're not signing up, it is a good deal. I would recommend it. It's hands down. I've taken every other coaching stuff before because I was a new agent and I took whatever I could to throw money at it to see if anything sticks. But he basically nailed down everything you could do if you're just starting. And I did 65 open houses in 2019 before COVID. And I took couples training during COVID, which I think had a lot to do with how I succeeded last year. Now I just need to reset and retool for the shifting market, a true shift.
That's amazing, guys. Chi makes some good money. What else? Feedback, takeaways? Is this still overwhelming? Lisa recommended suggesting that knowing the difference between dreams and goals. Hey, goals must be something that you're actually going to take action and execute on. Goals must be tied to a plan. Otherwise, it's a dream. Otherwise, we know it's just not going to happen. So you can set goals, and if it's not attached to a deadline, if it's not attached to a plan of action, it's just a dream. It's a pipe dream. It's never going to happen. Yelena, if you want to sign up for that coaching, I know I have 8 or 9 left. I think we're up to 91 or 92, and we're doing the first 100 members at that rate. So if you want to sign up, just text me, and I can send you an invoice. Okay, what else, guys? This is not about that. What other takeaways do you have? What else? That's all the feedback? That's it?
I'm just thinking on what to say. I'm still reflecting on like what I learned today. I'm just right now I'm trying to like change my mindset. That's the biggest thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to
Randy,
delete.
that's not gonna happen instantly. So here's what I see in you, brother. You want to have it the instant fix. If you're gonna do that, it's never gonna change. So I need you to be patient and grow through it. And growing through it means that you're gonna have to feed your brain. You're gonna have to take 20 to 30 days to reprogram your brain and how you think. It's not gonna happen overnight. You have to work on it until you no longer have to work on it. But you're right now stuck in your own head. And the best thing I can tell you is the reason why you're stuck in your own head is because you are trying to snap your finger and change it. That's not how it works. Give yourself 20, 30 days and watch what happens. Yelena?
Yeah. My thing is being uncomfortable because I'm too comfortable right now. I'm satisfied. That's what I keep on saying. But I definitely want growth. So it's that mindset of what's my perfect morning want to look like? I don't even know yet.
Well, so we have to have that discomfort for growth. So if you're really comfortable with your production, if you're really happy with it, I will tell you that's okay, but it's not a lot of security. With the market changing, if you keep doing the same things, you're probably going to make 50 to 70% of what you made last year. And so if you want security, it's really growing and getting uncomfortable. So if that income amount matters to you, then we have to get uncomfortable. Otherwise, you will see a drop in your income, and I'm not here to try to scare you. I just know from being.
I know. I've been in the industry long enough where I did leave, and I don't want to leave again because I was a lot younger in 2007. So, anyways.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how to get you to the place where you need to be uncomfortable. I hope you don't wait until you have to change in a month or because of whatever happens in your life or in your business that could make you have more pressure. I want you to change before that pressure arrives at your door.
Yep. Thanks.
What other feedback, guys? So I see some comments. Say great Zoom, appreciate you. What else?
I really enjoyed it. Felix, all of your trainings are always hands down amazing. Ever since the last training that you did for our team about the structure and our schedule, I implemented it, and it has definitely helped with my schedule. Like I work a 9 to 6 schedule, and whatever is on my schedule, I implement it, and it has kept me very organized, and I just love that. So that's one of my biggest takeaways that I've had. And then now is just like doing the little things like the open houses, like I've always been about open houses, but now it's just going back and doing, okay, you need to double down, you need to triple down, you need to fill your pipeline, you need to make sure that because the market is changing, that's another thing that, like you said, we need to double down in our business. It's not like last year or the year prior where business was just coming to us. Now we have to really work and double down on our pipeline. So that's one of the biggest takeaways too, is doubling down in the business.
Yeah, and just wait. If you guys listen to me, your business, when the market is easier, when the market gets better, you will double and triple your business. I hope you guys realize that. Working hard now is the secret for the easiest climb up for that growth when it gets easier. Don't wait till it gets easy. Remember that Tony Robbins quote. What else, guys? Who felt like they got a breakthrough today? Who felt like they got what they needed to move forward in their business? So Liana had some clarity. I love that. So Liana does a lot of personal development. So
Can I say something, Felix?
Of course.
Hi, I am officially new. I just got my email for my MLS access, so it's very exciting for me. I have been pounding my head. I have my calendar, got a calendar. I have my to-do list, I have my morning routine. Luckily, I've learned to put that into my life just so I can be organized for other aspects of my life. So I'm really excited, and this meeting was just eye-opening. How much work gets put into, getting that specific goal that I have in mind. I thought it's easy, but it just gives me a flashback of a lot of stuff that I need to do to be able to come to my goal. And I'm not changing my goal, but I will be.
So it will be easy because you have broken down this plan, and it will be easy because you're not going to take it in bite-sized pieces. So I don't want you to believe it's going to be hard. It's going to be a lot of work.
A lot of work, exactly.
Hard. So hard. I think you're very intelligent. I think you're very capable. Liana is in the Glendale, Burbank area. She grew up in Glendale, California, and she and her husband's a very well-known chiropractor. They know over 1,000 people. That 1,000-person sphere is a 6 or 7-figure business sitting right there. So Liana, just jump in, and we've got the support system ready to help you get you where you want to go. But don't get overwhelmed, because we're going to walk you guys through this each step of the way. And guess what? It's going to happen 1st or 2nd week of January. We're going to do another one for Q1, and then we're going to do one for Q2 next year, and then Q3 and Q4, and this is going to repeat. And you guys are going to accomplish more eventually in 1 quarter than you guys were able to do in a whole year in another brokerage and another team. That's what we're driving, and everyone is buying into the same methodology.
Yes.
Thank you for that comment.
Thank you, Felix.
Dan. We'll let Dan get his cell phone situated. I think he has to go to his next appointment here. You're muted right now, though, brother.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. What comments and feedback do you want to add, brother? You're muted again.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, shoot. Sorry, I'm plugged into my phone.
You're good. What would you like to share?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Know how to work this. Sorry, I have to hang up and come right back in.
Okay. All right, who else wants to share? Guys, when you guys are sharing, you guys are actually participating, actually going to make more money by participating, and then you're also empowering other people. So you're also gifting other people your feedback. Just make sure it's not just about yourself. Make sure that it's a takeaway that other people can also relate to. So if you guys need individual help, yeah, we'll provide that as a separate situation. What else, guys? Anyone else would like to share?
Felix, this is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby.
Hey. So for me, I think, you should see my notebook. It's like full of notes. But for me, it was just like a slap into reality again, I guess. But my biggest challenge is I have 3 kids under 9 years old, and all 3 are in different school schedules, and all 3 are in different sports schedules. And so fitting all of those things and creating a morning routine that I can stick to, it has been a huge challenge for me, because it changes for me so much.
Okay, why did it change though? So what's happening that's changing?
So it changes because there's different like drop off times. So I feel like I either have to like sacrifice like sleeping and rest time in the morning and wake up extra early to like get like a morning like routine done or
Okay.
down.
Okay.
Or if I do that, or if I don't do that and I start my day when I have to get up and get the kids ready and get them ready to go, then by the time I come back, I feel like it's just too late.
Okay.
Like I don't want to start my day like at 9 o'clock. You know what I mean?
So here's what I see going on. You're too much in your head and too analytical about what you're trying to do here. You're trying to look for the perfect schedule. You're trying to look for a perfect hour or two blocked off where you can focus on prospecting, but that's not the life that you live, Gabby. You've got 3 kids underneath the age of 9. You're driving all over the place with a different schedule, typically every single day. So what you have to get really good at is being super focused with little spots of time at 15 to 30 minutes. But what you're saying when you have this free moment of 15 to 30 minutes is that's not enough time for me to do anything with, so I'm not going to do anything. That's what's happening right now. True or not true?
True.
And because of that, you actually have 3, 4, 5 hours of your day that encompass 15, 20, 30-minute slots that you're just ignoring because you're waiting for that perfect hour or two blocked off to execute. And that's just not going to fit in your life right now, unless your kids are going to not go to activities or unless someone else is going to pick up and drop them off. That's the only other solution here. Otherwise, you got to get really good. And some of Lori should remember this. This is a conversation I had with my business partner and friend, Lori Domingo, first year that she was with me. I said, you got to get you're really busy. You're really successful. You got to get really good at doing things in between appointments inside the grain, which is 15 to 30 minutes time slots. If you're waiting for that hour or two to block off to get something big done, it's just not going to get done. And you're going to keep pushing it to tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. Does that help, Gabby?
Yes, that helps. So that's what I'll do. I'll do like 15, 30 minute slots.
Yeah. Like, look, the first time you do a TikTok, it may take you 3 hours, and then you're going to get it down to an hour. Then you're going to get down to 30 minutes. Then you'll be able to do a TikTok from your car in between dropping your kids off in 15 minutes. And then you're off to the races.
Yeah.
So you fit in 15 to 30 minutes now. That is not overwhelming. Maybe you have a list of 10 past clients or 10 agents that you call to try to get some purchase money deals from. And then when you're driving in between appointments, you just call them. But there are things that you could fit into the 15 and 30 minutes now that can drive your business forward. But some of you guys are waiting for that perfect day and you're not going to ever live it.
Yeah. Okay.
So don't wait for the perfect day. Let's execute with the time slots that you have in 15 to 30 minute time slots. I'm going to go back to Dan. I know John's unmuted. Dan, I know you were having some audio issues. I'm asked to unmute you, so I know you want to share something.
Yeah. I do agree with Gabby being overwhelmed in some situations where I'm a new agent, but I like to take on new things. I have built out a system to just relocate my hours into just focusing on real estate. And so understanding how to build a system off real estate is really good with what you taught us, building weekly measurable goals, daily measurable goals, and then even specifically hourly measurable goals to call prospects and call different people or meeting people going out there. I'm going out here right now to try to meet some people and try to get my spear like Liana is going to use her spear of chiropractic to use. I'm going to do the same thing with my gym.
Awesome. And so for those people that are avid gym goers, this is literally like putting together a complete workout plan that you're hitting all the muscle groups and you're not over exercising, over leveraging certain muscle groups, because then you're not going to be balanced and that balance will lead to injury. This is the exact same thing, but you have to have the knowledge on how to bolt together those things to create that perfect routine or perfect workout to get to that body, that life that you want to have. This is the same exact thing. So I hope that you see that, Dan. It's a pleasure to be in business with you. I love your energy. Your insight is amazing as a new agent. So let's go get it, brother.
Thank you.
John.
Well, I want to thank Felix. Like I said, I think the first mistake I made is not having a coach since I started the real estate business. And I came from a very different business before this, and I never opened up a brokerage before. But I hired the best coach, one of the top coaches, and I think everybody needs a coach. And if you're not a coach with Felix, I truly recommend that, because what I like about Felix and what I like about all the coaches is that Felix actually done it before, right? I hate talking to coaches that never sold a piece of real estate, right? Felix has a roadmap for you guys. It seems like a lot of you are new agents here today. He has a roadmap, what you need to do every day, right? You just need to follow it. This is not rocket science. You need to create something new or everything. Everyone's doing the same thing. And the only thing that agents, and I think Felix and the others will mention here, is that a lot of the agents do not follow through. You have to, for you to get listings and business, you have to connect with, I don't know, Felix, 9, 12 touches over time, right? I'm telling you, most of the agents out there, we have 30,000 realtors in our market. A lot of them are just giving up, okay? My team, we're not giving up. And that's how we're capturing business. And in a down market like this, there's a lot of opportunities, because a lot of these dead agents are just leaving the business. That's actually a great opportunity for you guys, because that's why Felix is telling you to double down and triple down your mailers and do whatever's working for you, your top 3 things, and double down, because you're going to gain market share by next year. Oh my goodness, you guys are going to be the agent in your market, and they're going to call you, right? So you need to plant a seed now, because there's a lot of people need to move and relocate and still buy homes. California is a great market as well. It's very similar to New York. I love the high price points, and there's a lot of qualified buyers and sellers out there, right? So whoever touches these buyers and sellers first is going to get that business. But you have to hustle and want the business and follow whatever Felix is saying, because whatever I learned a couple of things today from him, and I really appreciate it. But I don't stay on the call with many coaches, but when Felix is having a call, especially a business planning, I need to sit in and remind myself what I'm doing wrong and be back on track. So I really appreciate Felix, and I wish you guys a fantastic 2022 and 2023, and stay away from all the negative people, like Felix says. But Felix, welcome to having children, and I wish you a lot more kids ahead. And I look forward to the next call. And I thank you, everyone, and nice meeting everybody.
Thanks, John. Thanks, John.
Gotta go.
So, one more minute, guys. Who wants to be the last question, comment, feedback? Who's got something?
Yeah, so something weird just happened. I closed a deal today. It was a lease. They accepted our client and they're ready to move in next week, which is great. I hope that I'm on board with EXP fully, because I don't know if I'm in like that weird gray area where I'm first platinum and then 1 foot into EXP, because I just closed a deal today and I'm like, all right, so how does the commission thing work? Because I know first platinum did it way differently.
Get with me offline about that, Randy. That's separate to this. So yeah, get with me offline, and I can help you out through that. All right, guys, I'm going to end it with the last message here. Guys, if you are still not sure about your business plan, jump on tomorrow. But I would much rather you guys finish your business plan for homework and start executing tomorrow. Don't jump on business planning unless you're still confused. So it should maybe be some brand new agents that still need some clarity on their business plan that are jumping on tomorrow. Otherwise, let's get to work, guys. And then we have a social media training on exactly what social media is working in this marketplace. It's going to be streamed, and also it's going to be in person in Newport Beach, California. So that's going to be from 9:30 to 11 on Thursday. And then we're probably going to have some more social media accountability and training on Friday for TikTok and Instagram Reels, and probably also a meeting Friday to prepare you guys, for those of you guys who are going to EXPCon in Vegas, on exactly how to tackle next week and get the most out of next week. All right, guys. So thank you guys so much for paying attention for 3 hours. I know it's a long marathon. I need to go rest myself. So hope you guys have a productive day. Let's go get it. Focus on what I said and you'll get there. Do not get distracted by outside things. Thanks, guys.